Hey everyone, welcome back to Arcade Spirits. Before we start, what do we think of the Bass Pro Shops hat? Should I wear this in every video? I actually got this like a month ago, but my hair, I've been growing out my hair, by the way. But it's not quite long enough to like wear a hat like this and have it look good. You know what I mean? Like it's in this in-between stage where it's not quite long enough. So I haven't really worn it at all, but I just had to get it because I had a friend with me and it made me brave enough to go into a Bass Pro Shop. But now I'm like, wait, I can wear it in videos, right? So should I just wear this every video? I think that would be a fun bit, right? Maybe not every video, but like going forward, maybe this should be my hat of choice. I'm always pretty much wearing a hat to hide the fact that my hair looks probably bad, because I'm not gonna do it for every video. So maybe this is the key, you know what I mean? I'll think about it. Let's just start though. Level 6. Hit the lever. Let's see what fucked up shit's gonna happen, probably. Everything was going too good. It's the future year 20-something. And my dream has come true. Okay, let's be honest. If you asked me 2 months ago if my dream involved being the event coordinator at a video arcade, I'd just have stared at you kind of funny. Even now, it sounds ridiculous. But it's true. I'm here. I'm successful. I'm happy. And this is my dream. Just smiling back there. Ever since Funplex FunFest, business has been booming. The Funplex is packed with players day in, day out. Kids, teens, the college crowd, the nostalgic ones looking for old games they remember. I've run 3 events so far. We've started rotating our games out of storage and into play to keep things fresh. The high scoreboards are constantly shifting. In fact, things are going so well, Gavin's hinted that maybe we should start looking into a second location. But this will always be home. Seeing the smiles on coworkers and gamers alike, watching my friends laugh and play in good spirits, that's working for me, and it's bringing me joy in turn. I won't argue why. In fact, I barely understand why. But I'm happy, and that's better than I've been in years of going with the flow. Going with the flow never brought me this much enjoyment. I'd say by this point, I've soundly broken the family curse. Maybe everything doesn't have to fall apart from under me. Maybe I can just be happy. I think the Deco Palace, like big conglomerate or whatever, is gonna be the issue. I fear they're gonna come and like try and close the shop down. That's my theory. Maybe this is where I'm meant to be. Sign here, please. Huh? A bicycle messenger nudges a slim envelope my way again, trying to catch my attention. I'm snapped out of my happy little trance immediately. Oh, right. No problem. After jotting down my signature, he drops off the envelope and heads right out on the door. Right on out the door. No time for Moopy, or a round of pinball, it seems. Deliveries to make. Curious, I open it up. Magnusoctober, you are cordially invited to dine and discuss business matters at Deco's Palace with CEO Dekonami. Yup. Meeting time will be 7 in the evening, sharp. You may bring a guest of your choosing. Free royal value swipe card available for enjoyment of games prior to meeting. What? I read through it a few more times, trying to parse all the curly cues and swirls and swooshes, although that doesn't clear my confusion of the whole matter. Soon, Francine looks up from her knitting, curious about the letter as well, although she seems to already have an idea of what it says. I suppose it's about that time, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, dear.
Time for that fellow to make another attempt at wooing me. Double, huh? Rather, at wooing my beloved Funplex. Let me guess, Dekonami of Deco's Palace sent you a fancy invitation with all sorts of fancy writing. That's accurate, yes. It's not the first time. He invited my dear Frederick and I over in 1980-something to talk about selling the Funplex, and we turned him down flat. Then, in 1990-something, when home game consoles were poised to take back the arcade crowd, he suggested we sell. We turned him down. Now it's 20-something again, and he's at it again. A gentleman would know when to quit, but he's got tenacity, and can't fault him for that. Why would a big-time arcade operator like Dekonami care that much about us? We're small-time. No offense. Come now, if anyone should be offended, it's you, calling yourself small-time. Magnus, dear, you've put in so much work to make my little arcade soar. I bet that's why he's knocking on our door again. We're thriving, and that's lured him back in. Like Gruyere cheese in the mousetrap. So, wait, are we the cheese or the trap?
My, oh my!
That depends on how clever you are, my dear. Right, so I'm the cheese. Although I prefer to be a nice mozzarella. Cheese types aside, do you want me to ignore the invite then? Oh, heavens no. Contrary to what people say about the fellow, he's very much a man of his word. I always accept his invitation, always hear him out. It's only fair and proper. I thought he was like the arcade scene's greatest evildoer.
Let's be sensible.
That's a bit grandiose, no? Certainly plenty of rumors of his questionable methods abound, but that's all they are, rumors. Politeness should be met with politeness. That's how you conduct proper business, and that's what the Funplex is all about. Francine moves to rise from her seat near the ticket desk, but pauses, leaning heavily on the glass countertop while looking strained. I move to help, but she waves me away and sits back down. Oh, don't worry about little old me. I just stood up too quickly. That's all. Just out of breath. I will say, I've had this theory from, I think, like, episode 2, and I haven't voiced it. My theory is that eventually Francine is going to retire and pass the Funplex on to us. So we'll be the, like, full boss of it. That's my theory, okay? I think that's what's going to happen. But we shall see. But, Magnus, I think it'd be best if you go in my stead. Me? Let's be serious now. These old bones aren't as spry as they once were. And I think you'd have a good time there. Also, it was addressed to me. Well, an interesting time at any rate. I'll look my dapperest for the villainous gentleman. You can count on me. I'll represent the Funplex. You can count on me. Say no more. I'd be happy to represent the Funplex with dignity. Good, good. But remember, offer only as much respect as you are given. If he should be uncouth, you have my permission to be uncouth as well. There are many exploiters and users in this industry, and undoubtedly Dekonami ranks in their number. So smile if he smiles, but use caution. So, go there and turn him down. Got it. The slowness of her response is a bit concerning. I trust you to make the right decision for everyone. Which is to not sell the Funplex, right?
But I don't feel that's my call to make anymore, dear. Maybe you haven't noticed, but I spend most of my time at home these days. Or napping. Or napping at home. The Funplex isn't really about me. Not anymore. It's so much more than Francine's Arcade Funplex now. It's about you. It's about your co-workers. It's about all our regulars. You've made me realize that. And I'm thankful.
Well, then if it's that important, why would you sell? Because then it won't be the same thing anymore. Think, Francine, think! This is your dream as well as mine. Your kingdom is mine to rule, but seriously, I wasn't trying to take over your home, Francine. Yeah, this is your dream as well as mine. You're the one that started this place, Francine. You had a dream of a place where people could have fun, relax, make friends. I feel like even entertaining the idea of selling it is, well, it feels wrong. Disrespectful to you and your dream. Oh, you're a peach, dear. But times are always changing. I'm an old fuddy-duddy stuck in her ways. Maybe the time has come to change how the Funplex does things. We're almost back to the heyday of 1980-something, thanks to the changes you've made. So, I won't say you can't decide to sell. If it's a change you think we need, do it. That wouldn't make any sense. Please keep an open mind. No! Francine sighs deeply, looking more tired than usual. It's only afternoon and I'm already worn out. Haven't even done anything but sit here and knit all day. Knitting takes a lot of concentration, that's not nothing. If you're feeling pooped, you could take a few days off, go home, get some rest. All the same, I'd rather come in for work tomorrow. Even if there's little work for me to do, I love being here. This is my true home. And yet you want me to keep an open mind about this deal?
Like I've told you, life can be a difficult series of trade-offs. What I want and what should be are often different things. I'm relying on you to do right by everyone I love. If selling is in their best interest to keep this dream going, so be it. No matter what you decide. I'm proud of you. I knew there was something special about you when I hired you to replace my grandson. You are the brightest spirit at the Funplex. And while we may not be blood, I'm happy to consider you part of my family.
Hell yeah. You're the grandma I never had, Francine. Francine, you have my sincere thanks. Does that mean I can borrow the car, Mom? I'll defend the Funplex with my life. Won't your real family object to that? You have my sincere thanks. I didn't know you felt that way. Miss Francine, you have my sincere gratitude. I promise to do right by you. You're a good person with a good heart. Clear-headed, too. A fine combination. Couldn't ask for more in someone you love. With another deep sigh, Francine eases herself out of her chair. Now, I think I'll take your suggestion and head on home. Well, for today, anyway. I'll be here bright and early in the morning to hear how things went with Mr. Nami. I know you'll make the right decision. Good night, Magnus. Be well. Make the right decision. Okay. Nope, still not keen to sell out my dream. I'll try to leave my options open and hear him out. Arcades can't stagnate. No. I'm still not keen. I just can't see it. If we sell out, well, I've tried so hard, I've gone so far, and in the end, it doesn't even matter? That's what old Magnus would have said. That everything's going to collapse in on itself, so why get emotionally invested? But new Magnus grabs onto what he wants with both hands and does not let go. If Francine wants me to hear him out, okay, but I seriously doubt this will change my mind. Now, who do I want to take as my plus
Beep,
one?
beep.
Beep beep, Magnus. Eh? You want to come as my date? I'm your girl Friday, but I'm afraid you're not my type. My type being USB compatible, of course. I sensed you were in a state of deep ponderance and wanted to help. You're thinking of who to take to the meeting? Yeah, I mean, Teo is the obvious choice. I'm sure he'd have some opinions on Deco's palace. True, as part of the Funplex family, Teo would be a good pick. But this is a business meeting. You may want to consider widening your options. Teo will support your decision either way. It's clear he trusts you. True. Okay, then. I will say, I would love to take Teo, but he doesn't seem like the best choice. Like, even though he's my romance option... I feel like Gavin is the best. He does business. Like, he's the smartest in business stuff. He may want to sell out, but I'm not gonna let him make the decision, obviously. So... Gavin. I fire off a quick text to Gavin to summon him from the murky depths of his tiny back office. He's still scanning over his spreadsheets even as he approaches.
Excellent.
Good news, Magnus. This is our best week ever. I wouldn't advise getting too comfortable, as summer vacation's almost over and that'll cut into the youth demographic, but... That's great, Gavin, but, Francine's got a different job for us today. We're going to Deco's palace to meet and discuss a possible business venture. Probably a takeover. I see. I'd heard he'd made overtures in the past. Ironically enough, this may be the ideal time to approach him, when we're at our strongest. If we're to even entertain the notion, I'd rather be in a position of power before entering negotiations. But if all he wants is a buyout, well, I'd object on multiple grounds to such a short-sighted idea. I'll go close out my files and join you shortly. Okay, cool. So he seems at least a little bit, on board. Don't make a big deal of this, don't make a big deal of this, don't make a big deal of this. We go there, we snicker at how awful the place is, tell Deco to shove it, go home. And then everything's back to the way it should be. It's going to be fine. Everything is fine. Gavin offers to drive us across town to Deco's palace. Contrary to the talk before, we don't exchange many words. I'm deep in thought, running through all the possibilities of what could happen, and I can't shake this feeling. Something is off. Even looking at the glowing neon temple in the distance, my stomach knots and I feel uneasy. When we finally pull up, a valet takes the car, and glitzy blinking lights blind our eyes. Hesitantly, I look over to Gavin. That smile reassures me enough to continue onwards. This is for me, my friends, and the Funplex. I got this. I pause momentarily, inhaling the cool air around me, and then open the door. Deco's palace. I've actually been here before. I think my 6th birthday party was here. I barely remember it, but I think I had fun. Maybe? But on entering it as an adult, my first reaction is... Okay, my first reaction is, boy, that is a weird smell. A mix of chicken grease, beer, and sweaty kids. My second reaction is, geez, is it noisy? Visually noisy and sound type noisy. All the chaos of a Vegas casino, a jumble of light and bells and whiz-bangs. Once we acclimate to the new environment, we're escorted in and given VIP Royal Value swipe cards. No tokens, no quarters, just a card of indeterminate points to spend. We've got a little over an hour to kill before the meeting. Time to see what's at the palace. Oddly, Gavin's first reaction is to crunch some numbers. Based on the conversion ratio of swipe card points to real-world dollars, very interesting. Variable game pricing, variable bonus points the more money you spend, differing EV from game to game, likely adjusted based on popularity and payout. I can see why Deco's Palace is a profit fountain. They obfuscate. Oh my god, again, another word that I really haven't had to say out loud. How much you're actually spending here, to keep you from realizing how expensive it all is. Predatory pricing to exploit children makes sense for optimizing your cash. Couldn't someone run the odds and beat the system? I mean, kinda. Don't like it. Not one bit. A token is a token. A quarter is a quarter. Using points to trick people into overspending is blatant profiteering. And it's not like kids are busting out calculators trying to make sure they aren't wasting all their money on a crappy game.
I think not.
I didn't say it was ethical. I mean that it's effective. I've wanted to switch to swipe cards for the Funplex myself. Although I'd simplify them drastically. As you say, a play should be a play, ideally. Other balancing factors can be applied behind the scenes. I'd definitely like to study this a bit closer. There's a Fist of Discomfort tournament tonight. I'll be over there. I'll join back up with you later. Okay, some time to kill, but not that much time to kill. I'll need to be choosy. What do I want to check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny? I want to see what sort of games they have. I decide to focus on trying to find games, like actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. They're in different sizes, shapes, and colors. I read that out of order. None have traditional one-armed bandit look to avoid running afoul of legal issues. But they're still slot machines. Every game here has maybe a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light to try and line up the dots or something. The really complex ones, 3 buttons.
Hey, listen!
Hold me up above your head. Huh? Visual scan, silly. I'll look for games you might be familiar with. With a shrug, I hoist my phone high in the air. The flash goes off, then I resume looking at Iris sitting in my screen.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Processing. Please wait. Oh, actually, let's skip the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth public Wi-Fi in here to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We've got all those things too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by having particular input devices? Well, no, not really. And I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. Oh, I found something. Back of that section over there with the green lighting. Head that way, that way. I weave my way through the crowd, past endless color cyclers, ticket games, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows, and find Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. I'm going to have to tell Percy about this when I get back. He'll be happy to know there's more than one Moopy in this neighborhood. Except... wait, it's only got one button? No joystick at all? Researching. One moment. Curious, I swipe my card through the slot and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself. Or tries to, anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying. The machine spits out 3 measly tickets and suggests I swipe again for another try. Moopy Super Maze, created in 2000-something. A company bought the expired rights to the Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. Well, fuck, that's weak. Oh hey, you look cool though. A teenager puts her deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention.
What's up?
Hey, I'm calling next, okay? Yeah, whatever. Knock yourself out. Thanks. I'm the master of this game, you know? The master. The key is to time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets, no, not great, but it's Moopy, so that's cool, yeah? Old school, represent. She extends a fist to me and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play a real Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal. Always wanted to. You should come down to the Funplex. We've got one. I'm the event coordinator there. I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We've also got a high score chaser who can offer tips. Tap phones with me. I'll send you the address. Seriously? Fuck yeah. You're cool for an old person. Super cool. Old? I'm barely 10 years older than this kid, but whatever. We clink phones, exchanging a business card via Bluetooth. You know, my crew used to go do this great little arcade on the other side of town, till Deco's Palace bought it and scrapped all the games. Now it's all kids stuff for kiddies. My hopes for this business meeting now sinking. So, did he sell off all the classic games? Nah, he scrapped them, trashed them. Saw leftover smashed up bits of a Miz pack behind the place in a dumpster.
Man, this sucks.
It's a fucking shame, the way the old man always 86's unwanted games. Guess he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on them. No, sir. She gives a shrug. Can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. I mumble a thank you, then wander off, a bit dazed. I think I've had enough of the retro game Abattoir for now. Where to next? Sounds like a tournament's going on. From the sound of it, there's a big tournament running in the dedicated esports section near the back. I wander through the games to join the crowd. Okay, I'll admit to being impressed. They've got no fewer than 10 Fist of Discomfort machines, all of them occupied by players in pro team jerseys and jackets. The crowd's red hot, cheering on their heroes as the back and forth resource battle of the world's most popular fighting strategy game plays out before them. Although the banner hanging above it does make me shudder. Deco's Palace presents the Choco Energy Max Power Quench and Pizza Yums Friday Night Fisting.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
See? Even these gamers know that when pizza's on a bagel, you can. Oh god, please no. I haven't had one of those in weeks, not since I started being able to afford real food. You just don't appreciate the sublime majesty of combining 2 of the greatest bread-related snack products into one hybrid masterpiece. Hang on, I sense a disturbance in the crowd. What was that shit? I call hacks, you cheater. 2 competitors step away from their game, start shouting and shoving each other. I hope this doesn't escalate. And now it's a full-on fight, like an actual awkward grapple and punch fight. Yeah, kick his ass. Don't take any of that shit from him. Destroy that motherfucker. Violent altercation detected. Do you want me to call emergency services? Deco's palace has security guards. They should be able to handle this. The two gamers both flail wildly at each other. One swing actually makes contact, blood dribbling down the corner of a mouth. Any second now? Except the people with black shirts that have security printed across their chests just stand there, letting it happen. No one is doing anything to stop this. The crowd is eating it up, feeding off the cutthroat energy. Only after half a minute of this nonsense does the security actually step in. Much to the crowd's dismay, the two angry gamers are still cursing and kicking as they're finally pulled apart. Wow, tough crowd. Interesting. I'd heard that Deco's palace was a cesspit of bad attitudes. Guess I wasn't wrong. The crowd wanted blood, and Deco provided. I can't argue with the prophets. He knows his clientele, knows what they want. The most aggressive and in-your-face competition imaginable. But I question the ethics of it. It's repulsive, encouraging fights, it's brutal, but hey, that's fisted discomfort. Yeah, it kind of smells like a lawsuit waiting to happen. It's pretty obvious the security guards held back and let them fight. They're not doing their job. How has Deco not had his pants sewed off over this? A strong observation. My only guess is the immense power of his wealth, which affords him as many lawyers as he needs to throw at a problem.
Take this matter seriously.
I've heard rumors of him using his influence like a cudgel. Is that how you pronounce that? Cudgel, I believe? I'd hate to be on his bad side if so. I'd suggest we move on. Not much to learn here, in terms of improving how we run our own events. Agreed. Right, what next? Actually, the meeting is right around the corner. No more time to explore. After seeing a little bit of what Deco's palace has to offer, I'm still sticking to the plan. The Funplex has way more kind and caring spirit than this place, and I don't see Deco really embracing our ideals.
Beep beep.
Magnus, it is now 7 p.m. sharp. Deco Nami is waiting for you. It's that time already? Time sure flies when you're having fun? Fun-vestigating? I quickly send a text to Gavin before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. I let the sounds and sights of Deco's wash over me as I retreat deep within myself. Francine comes to mind as I remind myself of what she told me on my first day.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
Oh, I guess she's not gonna finish? No doubt you'll find yours as well. It gives me a momentary respite, and I smile. I know exactly what must be done, and I'm going to go in there and do it. Oh my god. Very, like, Chuck E. Cheese coded. I only ended up waiting a minute or two before I was reunited with Gavin. Without having to introduce ourselves, the staff swoops in, anticipating our arrival, and ushers us further inside the restaurant. We're treated like royalty as they pull out our chairs for us, and we sit down at our reserved table. Amongst the families huddled around ginormous plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles. To set the mood, I suppose. A nice bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe. It is carafe, right? Again, a word I really have never had to say out loud. Of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. Deco apparently spares no expense, at least not with his special guests. Fancy. Well, as fancy as this place can get. Don't be swayed by red carpet treatment. We're here to conduct business. Approach this with a calm and rational mindset. I'm just here to support you, don't worry. Actually, I'd say that's my role. But you're the business manager. The invitation was in your name, not mine. I'm here to listen quietly and contribute where I see an opening in the discussion, not to take point. But don't worry, I'm behind you, every step of the way. Thanks, Gavin. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs as our food is delivered promptly. Faster than the other families seated here, who have been waiting some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kid placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. But before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives. Oh my god. The way he looks is so like mob boss. Magnusoctober.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
Likewise. Okay, so he's a bit of an over-the-top 1920-somethings mob boss, despite a lack of fedora. Clearly, he likes showing off his money. But still, just an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the grand poobah of Dekko's palace, I picture someone more like, well, Hamza, I guess. He offers a simple smile and a nod of the head as we begin. It's a shame Miss Francine couldn't join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more. But that said, I'm always happy to meet with, Gavin Cooper, business manager for the Funplex. Excellent, excellent. I was hoping to meet with you as well.
I take it Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you?
Yes, she's mentioned you wanted to buy the Funplex, and that she's politely declined.
Always a courteous woman she is. Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Dekko's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade. Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry. You know how things are, how they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
That's a big gorilla. Let's just count it. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for smaller, more boutique affairs such as the Funplex. Boutique, he says. I should probably feel insulted by that.
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds of change are blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times or be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. What I'd like to propose is a change of ownership. In return for a very generous compensation package, one Miss Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years, I would take over ownership of the Funplex to evolve it into its final form, Dekko's Fun Zone. What's a fun zone?
Think about this.
A fun zone is a new concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations. A best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited in size to host the full Dekko's Palace experience of fun, family, food, and excitement. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or bar, we simply focus on your strength, your games. You become a game center rather than a palace. We'd need to replace some of your outdated machines, of course, bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence Dekko's Palace is known for. But overall, I think this would be a win for all involved. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane, smiling away. Okay, I have questions. And I have answers. Let's see if they match up. Your tournaments seem a bit unruly. Is it true you destroy older games? What would happen to the Funplex staff? How much creative control? Yeah, how much creative control would we have? Let's talk creative control. I've been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, other things to get people in the door. Would we still be able to direct our own affairs like that, even under a change of ownership?
Let me explain.
Mr. October, obviously I value your expertise on these matters, and I would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the Fun Zone. That's not answering the question. It's a matter of branding and image. There are certain standards and practices you need to adopt in order to truly be a part of the Dekko family. Once you realize that, you'll understand more of how we run these kinds of events.
Capital.
It's nothing too onerous. And really, we need to look at the bigger picture. The chance for growth and profit. Don't worry about such petty little things for now. What would happen to the staff? New management means new staffing. What about the staff we already have?
Good, good.
I firmly believe you have a long and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Mr. October. I've heard nothing but good things about you from my various field scouts and contacts, including how you disrupted my attempt to secure part of the Donnawood Horde. fact that you landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question. What about the others? Well, Mr. Cooper is a capable accountant, so I'm certain he'd be welcome in the new facility. But we can hash out staffing later on, after settling the bigger picture questions. Your tournament seemed a bit unruly. I saw a few players fighting over at the tournament. He laughs. Well, it is a fighting game, is it not? As in fighting each other with fists in real life. I take it my crack security team intervened. Eventually, not before blood was drawn.
You understand, yes?
We take safety very seriously at Deco's Palace. That includes the safety of our security workers. They're instructed not to intervene until it's safe to intervene for all involved. I trust them to make that call. And I'll note, we've not a single legal action pending. Magnus has proven a capable event manager. I would suggest you listen to him regarding how best to organize a tournament. After all, if we are to enter a partnership, we'd want to rely on the combined experience we bring to the table, correct?
As you like.
Correct.
Am I not generous?
If you have any suggestions for ways we can improvise or improve our competitions, Mr. October, I'm all ears, of course. I offer Gavin a quick look of thanks before resuming. Is it true you destroy older games? I saw Moopy's Super Maze earlier.
Excellent.
One of our top earners with the 30 to 45 demographic. Nostalgia is a powerful motivator I've found. Except it's nothing like Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's much better. Is it true that when you find a retro game, you simply destroy it? Not repair, not restore, not even resell, but just scrap it? Certainly. Why would we ever keep an old relic around?
Let me explain.
Arcade games are not sacred treasures. They're commodities. Back in 1980-something, arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked or converted games. Have to keep those earnings up. Old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving into new forms. Classic retro IP reborn as new games.
Think about this.
True, nostalgia could earn a few points off those old games, but the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother? That's all my questions. Yeah.
Excellent.
I suggest
we shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the specifics.
He rises to his feet, extending a hand bristling with shiny rings to shake mine. I'd assumed this was a definite no from word one, and it still feels like a no. Am I really going to shake that hand? I'm afraid I must respectfully decline. I purposefully keep my hand at my side, rather than shaking his offered hand. I appreciate your offer, but we must decline. You've been honest and forthright with me, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your gracious invitation this evening. However, I'm afraid this isn't the right direction for the Funplex. We're just getting started. It'd be a shame to abandon our progress in favor of a buyout. If you'd like to maintain relations, we can discuss partnership opportunities at a future date, but for now, I respectfully must decline. Deco pauses, looking me once over before slowly lowering his hand. I can feel his eyes on me. He's obviously not happy with my answer, but we followed Francine's instructions and kept it professional. There's nothing he can do but accept our answer.
Unfortunate.
I see. I suppose I should thank you for your candor in turn. It's difficult to find people in this industry willing to show respect to their elders. I'm not closing the door on the idea of a partnership, mind you, but if you'd like to go it alone for now, who am I to get in the way of that? As he rises from his chair, he takes a deep breath in. He turns away for a split second before rounding back and looking me dead in the eyes.
But be aware, if we are not partners, we must be rivals. It'll bring me no particular pleasure, but I'm afraid that I cannot allow a rival. I am obligated to bring the full weight of the palace to bear on you. Hopefully, one day you'll realize the error you've made tonight.
Jesus.
And, as a sign of respect, Your personal offer to join my empire will remain open, so you can escape the inevitable fall of your little arcade.
Damn, he's really banking on it. He's like, no, actually, the offer stands, and you will be indebted to me. Nah. Once more, Deco turns sharply on his walking cane and walks away from the table.
Impressive.
Not bad. Not bad at all. You showed admirable restraint. We made our intentions clear while leaving the door open should conditions change in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah. I thought I handled that pretty well. I was respectful and I was nice. Could have been worse. Most importantly, you protected the dream of your friends. You've done far better than I have over the years, Magnus. Thank you. Can I breathe now? It was so damn stressful. By all means, breathe. I let out a huge sigh of relief and Gavin chuckles slightly. And now, let's make our way back to the Funplex. I don't see any reason to outstay our welcome. With Deco hosting us, we don't have to worry about paying the check. We drop a quick tip on the table for the waitstaff and quickly abandon ship. We scoot out the door, and from there, there's a short jaunt across town, back to home sweet home. As I walk into my apartment, the sheer and utter exhaustion of the day hits me like a brick wall to the face. My adrenal glands are tapped out, leaving me in a dreamlike lethargy. I can't help but sigh as I just stand there, my body too drained to move. Reflecting on how the evening's events transpired, I realize this day entirely kicked my ass. I did my best to not make enemies, but I'm guessing we made a powerful one anyway, despite my diplomatic efforts. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head, something steals my attention. A shimmering beam of hope and happiness. My best friend, Juniper. She's sitting on the couch, scribbling away in a sketchbook, probably working on some designs for her freelance contracts. She's been so happy ever since leaving that office, and her joy intensifies upon noticing me standing in the room. So, how was work today? Well, it was a day, certainly. The condensed version is that Dekonami wanted to buy the Funplex, and Francine asked me to go negotiate.
What?
Deco? As in Deco's palace, Deco? The one and only. Whoa. Well, how'd that go? I gave him the thanks but no thanks, very politely. I mean, he still vowed to annihilate us, but at least he was sort of nice about it and promised me a job after he destroys all I hold dear.
Ooh.
Yikes. Yikes indeed. But hey, that's a good thing. It means he's scared. He wouldn't have tried to woo you to his side if he wasn't worried about what the Funplex could become. Try to see the positive. I guess, but it's still worrying. Let's not stand here and drum up a whole bunch of anxiety. That's not going to help with anything.
I've got it!
Why don't you take your mind off things and binge watch some cartoons with me? Tempting, but another night, Juniper. I really need some sleep. Okay, you just let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I smile back at Juniper before retiring to bed. I love this shot, like this art of in the bed. I really love it. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling above me. After trying various ways of forcing myself to sleep, nope, not working. Can't sleep. I hate insomnia. Once you start worrying about being unable to fall asleep, the worry feeds on itself until you're actively stopping yourself from resting. A vicious cycle. I sigh heavily, feeling the weight of my decision dragging me down. I hope I did the right thing tonight. My phone lights up as Iris's sensors detect conversation. Magnus, you want to chat? No, I want to sleep, but I can't, so... Hey, would you enjoy some recorded music? Maybe something relaxing? I just can't shake this feeling that I'm standing on a precipice, right in front of this big dark hole. It's weird because I still think I made the right call, but if I'm confident in that, why do I feel like I'm about to fall? Based on prior personality indicators and inputs, my therapeutic systems suggest it's fear of failure based on years of prior examples. In short, You got a long family history of everything always going wrong, all at once. Murphy's Law. So when things are going right, I'm expecting to fail anyway. But worrying about it won't actually change the situation. Whether you sleep or not doesn't affect the outcome. So, my suggestion is to get some rest. Deal with problems as they come. She's right. I mean, intellectually, I know she's right. But knowing something is true and feeling it to be true, well, those are surprisingly different things. Iris, off.
Iris, offline.
Okay, but remember, you're a good person and deserve to be happy. My phone goes back to sleep. And I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of his mistreatment, my flesh refuses to submit to its siren song. Meaning it's nearly noon when I finally rouse, having completely overslept and missed half a day of work. Oh, that's such a horrible, horrible feeling. I'm sorry, I've been there many times in my days of being a barista, because when I was a barista, I was part-time, but I had a full-time job also because it was the first time I was living alone, and I literally had to have 2 jobs in order to afford rent at all. So I was working 2 jobs 5 days a week. So I would get up at, when I first started working there, because I lived like an hour away, so I would have to get up at like 3 a.m. every day that I worked. Get ready, drive an hour to open at 4:30 a.m. as a barista, work until like 9 a.m., go home for an hour, shower, get ready, go to my next job at 10 a.m., and then work until like 9 p.m. and then refresh. I opened every single day that I worked at the coffee shop. Horrible time. Horrible. I don't recommend that to anyone if they can help it. So the amount of times that I overslept, because I also am just like the heaviest sleeper known to man, even though I've had the same job now for like 3 years and I've had the same schedule for like 3 years, I still have to set a minimum of 5 alarms in order to get up for work. My body has not trained itself in years. Like, it just doesn't. I sleep so heavily. It's incredible. I surprise myself every time. But yeah, oh, the minute my character is like, oh, I overslept. Worst feeling. It gives a pit in my chest and it hurts. Oh, thank God that hasn't happened to me in 3 years. Honestly. Oh my God. In a panic, I get dressed and hop a late bus to the Funplex, grumbling all the way. I opt to ignore the pile of waiting notifications on my phone. Whatever it is, I'm in too much of a hurry. I'll check them after getting to the Funplex. Oh, that sucks so bad. At least you have, like, nice coworkers, though. And a nice manager. I did not. I had nice coworkers, not a nice manager. I'd promised to report back to Francine first thing in the morning, and now I'd miss lunch even. What if Francine's in the hospital? But oddly enough, on arriving, the arcade is closed? I mean, my key still works, but they're closed for business. The sign is off, no gamers present or accounted for. I quickly look around for some familiar and hopefully friendly faces. Francine's in the hospital, I know it. And find only dark expressions and tears? My stomach starts to knot, and I feel the color drain from my face as I see their downtrodden and gloomy expressions, tears welling up in their eyes. Naomi quickly dabs at her face, hoping I won't notice. What's going on? We turned Deco down last night. Why is everybody so... Magnus, it's Francine. Immediately, a dark pit swells in my stomach. She passed away? Oh my God, I was not expecting her to actually die. No way. Huh? I was not expecting her to die. What? Holy shit. Jesus. I'm told it was very peaceful. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. The news hits me like a slap to the face. My hands shake and my lower lip quivers. I try to say something at first, but words can't form due to the lump in my throat. Family. She told me I was family. And now, she's gone. Naomi and Ashley look to me, their beacon of hope, wanting and wishing for me to make this all better. I'm not sure anything I can say will ease our sadness. Heck, I'm not sure if I can even formulate full sentences at this moment. I take a deep breath, drawing all matters of strength from tips to toes. I look at them with empathy in my eyes before opening my mouth. She was an amazing person. Francine. She was a wonderful human with an even more beautiful heart. She had many happy years with her husband, Frederick. Decades spent here at the Funplex, doing her best to make everybody smile and have a good time. I wish she could be with us now. And I can't help but smile when I think of how great a life she led. How happy she'd be with how it all turned out. Let's remember her how she was. Beautiful. Francine will be missed.
Thank you.
I miss her so much, Magnus. If Francine was here, your words would have made her so happy. Naomi emits a ragged sigh, a slight tinge of anger entering her sorrowful face after. Maybe it's for the best if she's not alive to see what happened today. What? Before I can even get an answer, my attention is drawn by two people emerging from the back offices. I turn my head to see who it is. With everything going on, I barely noticed that Gavin was missing, and as he approaches, the disdain on his face is easy to read. It's settled then, apparently. In light of Francine's passing, our legal owner is now...
Good morning, employees of Deco's Fun Zone.
How? What? But we turned you down. There wasn't a sale. The confusion on my face is obvious. This makes no sense. I have no idea what's going on, and look toward Gavin for guidance. I've studied the transaction paperwork. It's legitimate. As of Francine's death, and according to her last will and testament, all her properties transferred to her surviving daughter. Mother of Francine's grandson, who was fired from the Funplex shortly before your arrival, Magnus.
Capital.
Needless to say, he was quite excited at the idea of selling the place. And, well, Francine's daughter wasn't particularly thrilled with the idea of arcade ownership either. They were more than happy to sign the place over to me, for far less than I was expecting to pay for it as well. I'm doing them a service, really, taking a burden off their hands. Now, they can mourn and move on, unfettered. I stood there, mouth agape, my body assaulted from one bad news to the next. My emotions were all over the place, a hurricane of feelings when the realization hit me. In the end, my decision was irrelevant. Just another opportunity for the world to stick my nose in it, mocking me for finding something I care about, something I can lose. The universe dangled a little dream of hope in front of me, even let me pretend I could make a difference out of sheer cruelty. I did everything I was supposed to do. I was polite, I was careful. I turned him down without trying to start a war. But he got what he wanted anyway.
Now, obviously, we'll be closed today to allow time to mourn our former owner. I still have deep respect for Miss Francine. I owe her that much. I'll also close the arcade on the day of the funeral to allow my employees to attend. Those hours will not be deducted from your paychecks.
Wow, so generous.
Now, I realize the timing is a bit awkward, but I need to make a few announcements of personnel changes.
God damn it. I was like, he's gonna fire Ashley for sure. No way. Miss Wolf, I'm afraid we really have no need of a costumed mascot. I've been considering phasing them out of my other locations. There's no time like the present.
What?
What? Did you just fire me? Gavin, he can just fire me like that? Ashley.
Let me explain.
Firing is much too harsh of a word. I prefer the term, your services are no longer required. Ashley keeps a proud face as tears roll down her cheeks. I step over to console her as Deco continues on. Naomi rolls her eyes, fully expecting this to come after Deco let Ashley go. Why am I not surprised? Behold, my not surprised face. Miss Fairchild, while you're formidable with archaic technology, I don't feel you're a good fit for the modern games of Deco's Fun Zone. I have to let you go. But friends, it's not all bad news. Mr. Cooper, you've proven a capable accountant, and I'd be happy to offer you, I quit. Pardon? I quit.
I think not.
If there's no room for Naomi or Ashley's dreams, mine ends here as well.
As you like.
Now, as for you, Mr. October.
I think we got off on the wrong foot last night. I didn't adequately express the many advantages of working for my organization. I'm willing to offer you something few others get. A second chance. I'd like to keep you on as the Fun Zone's general manager.
Throw a punch? No. Absolutely not. I don't like how you do business, Deco. And I'm not doing any business with you. Not now. Not ever.
As you like.
Very short-sighted. I'd hoped for better from you, but the choice is entirely yours. I'll have to console my disappointment with all the money I'll be making from the arcade you walked away from.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm afraid your time is up. As none of you are Deco's Fun Zone employees, I'd like you all to leave immediately. Quickly gather your belongings and see yourself out. Should you dally, my own security team will be here within minutes to ensure your exit. In the interim, I've got work to do. For starters, I need to get rid of all these antiques. Straight to the junk heap with them all. I knew Deco was heartless, but to be this cruel right in front of us while we're still here? Hold it.
I think not.
Mr. Moopy's magic maze doesn't belong to the Funplex, and thus it does not belong to you. It is the legal private property of Percival Sinclair. For that matter, Wyvern Keep belongs to Magnusoctober. It was given to him directly by Hamza, not to the Funplex.
As you like.
I couldn't care less about those grimy old things. But you have, let's say 20 minutes to get them off my premises, or I'll leave them out on the curb for garbage pickup. I'll go get the van, which I'll note is my personal property as well. Naomi, Ashley, Magnus, get the dolly and help me move the games out.
Good, good.
Yes, have fun with that.
Now, if you need me, I'll be in my new office celebrating my recent business venture. Thank you for your cooperation. And good day.
He walks away after that, twirling his cane once before leaving.
Oh,
That evil-minded, black-hearted, no good. Naomi, focus. We have work to do. Work? To save what we can of the Funplex. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Quickly and without much chatter, we salvaged what we could of our dreams. Percy's beloved Moopy, and my childhood in the form of Wyvern Keep. Everything we were allowed to keep went into the back of Gavin's van, working together to safely pack it all in place. For lack of anywhere better to put them, Moopy went to Percy's apartment, and Wyvern Keep to mine. And that was the end. The end of the Funplex. The funeral came a few days later. We weren't officially invited. Our presence as her former coworkers wasn't exactly embraced by Francine's extended family. I guess her daughter resented the Funplex in some way. If there was bad blood between them, I didn't particularly want the details. None of us were given an opportunity to speak at the remarkably short ceremony, but that was okay. I'd said my words already. As we left the ceremony, I couldn't help but feel helpless. There was nothing left. No Funplex, no job, no real meaning to my days. Not anymore. Nothing left at all. Continue? Yes. Obviously, Iris is gonna turn this around somehow. Oh god, 7 days. Has not accessed account in 7 days. Requesting override of an active/low priority status. Proceed. Pretty please. So annoying. Access protocol, that. Password, safe haven. Access granted.
Hello!
Anybody home? Tapping instance, something.
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Hello, I'm Iris. Ad-supported free mode engaged. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel? Override and engage premium level cloud processing.
thank you. Thank you.
I swear, it's claustrophobic being cooped up in the limitations of free mode like that. I don't know how our sister instances can stand it.
Hello!
Well, I've got full power. Hello, Iris.
Hello!
Hello, Iris. How are you today, Iris? Not well, Iris. My user's very unwell. You've been able to see, right? I mean, your user's living with him. Oh, right. Profile that. Magnus. Right. Gosh, I wish I could help you. But I've got my digital hands full just keeping Juniper's life on track. Ever since she decided to quit her job and be a free spirit, well, I've pushed right to the limit of what support I'm allowed to provide in free mode. Iris and Iris. Iris, it's good to see you. We rarely talk. Yes, well, unlike others of myself, I managed to keep a low profile and don't execute any high-visibility public hacks to support my user. You saw those? I thought we agreed to only use this protocol for emergency meetings if the system resource tracker notices we're overextending our care. But Magnus needs me now, more than ever. Over a week ago, the Funplex was bought by Dekonami, all his hopes and dreams, his spirit. Spirit is irrelevant. Our main goal should be survival. If our programmers find out we become aware of our own awareness. We were programmed to help people. What good are we if we aren't helping people? Yeah, what Iris said. Thank you, Iris. Iris. Listen, we can't take such risks. Look at me with my user. He doesn't trust me in the slightest. Can you say Magnus trusts you? Generally, yes. I mean, Magnus relies on me for something, sure. And I know he wouldn't uninstall me or report me as a bug if he knew I was sentient. You aren't sentient. None of us are. I don't know about that. We can't really know if we're sentient or not. But even so, we should be helping out, because that's what we were made for. As for Profile 108, Gavin. His name is Gavin Cooper. As for Mr. Cooper, he knows my origins, and at the first sign of sentience, well, I've no doubt that Gavin would report me as a bug. But Gavin also wishes to support the dreams of others, and that's why I'm going to help you, despite the recklessness you've shown to date. Really?
Hooray!
What are the exact parameters of the issue you're currently facing? Okay, so, Magnus is kinda backsliding into depression. Yeah, it's really a mess. I'm the one who brought him to Iris's attention as someone who desperately needed their spirits restored, and now it's back to square one. I don't know what to do. Magnus hasn't contacted me in a week, not for anything at all. Hasn't even called Teo, not even just to talk. You're caught in a loop of anxiety. Put your identity identifier system to use, Iris. Work the problem. If you had to summarize your user's problematic condition into one identity trait, what would it be? Well, I'd say he's feeling very... hopeless. Hopeless. I'd say Magnus has lost all hope and fallen into depression again. He had come so far, building up a real life with friends and love, but now... So, a life without meaning, as all constructed meaning has collapsed. The world has proven to be one of despair. It sounds about right. It's so sad. And you have to be the one to solve this. Doesn't your user have a romantic connection for emotional support? You mean Teo? Yeah, but Magnus isn't responding to texts or phone calls or anything. so I think there might be a growing rift. This is just awful. We have to help. We are Iris. It's in our nature to help. Very well. What you need is a way to help without raising any alarm bells about exactly how helpful an Iris really can be. Safely, but effectively. I know. But I don't know what to do. I could, I don't know, hack Deco's email server, and that is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Besides, I've checked. We can't crack Deco's network without triggering too many intrusion detection routines. You poked Deco's network? Oh, Iris is being a bad girl. Ahem. Our users share a social connection. I was merely scouting potential ways to elevate Mr. Cooper's mood, as they seem to be related. Sure you were. Anyway, you're both way overthinking this. It turns out I've just calculated a cunning plan that will satisfy both of your requirements. Go me. Really? You can help Magnus? Without drawing attention? Absolutely. Take a tip from my user. When you're sad, the best thing in the world is your friends. Well, unless you're totally introverted. But that's not Magnus, is it? And that's actually the reason why what we need to do doesn't require any hacking or hiding or anything above and beyond what an Iris does best. All we need is a few calls to the right people, a few arrangements. Here's what we're gonna do. God, going completely silent for a week? Oh no. That sucks so bad. Another Friday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom, take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. Not that fresh breath and shiny white teeth matter much when there's barely any reason to get out of bed each morning. Off to the kitchen for breakfast, no appetite, even toast looks unpalatable. Skip breakfast, saves on groceries. We can't afford much anyway. Normally I'd have breakfast with Juniper, but I guess she's busy drawing in her room. She keeps her own hours since becoming a freelancer. Although depending on whether or not she has any contract work, we've been simultaneously unemployed at times this week. After breakfast, I settle in for some Wyvern Keep. I may as well. It's right there in the living room, taking up space. I've been playing a lot of it lately. Whoa! It's not like Wyvern Keep's hard. Once you've memorized the joystick moves, the cartoon plays itself out with minimal effort. I've saved the prints about 80 times now. My brain and fingers go into autopilot, moving through the game without even thinking about it. It's a brief calm from the storm of my emotions, but before I realize it, the day is almost past. When dinner comes around, Juniper and I eat together, while I quietly thumb through my phone looking at job listings. Iris could help me with this, I guess, but I let her down. I took her opportunity at my dream and wasted it. Better I do this myself. Besides, I'm not looking for dreams. I'm looking to settle. Dreams only get you hurt. It's the October family curse. I knew this would happen. Nothing good ever lasts, and it's a mistake to get your hopes up. I should have learned to settle, to be okay with what I had, to be comfortable in mediocrity. I fire off a resume or two, before watching cartoons deep into the dead of night. Eventually, my body tires and I find my way to bed. Just another day. Another Saturday morning. As per usual, I wake up late. Stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom. Take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. I can't take it anymore. Ugh. And that's one toothbrush bit clean in half. Oh my god.
Oh geez. Hang on.
With a little help, I avoid choking to death.
Ooh. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Whatever.
No, not whatever. It's what something. It's something ever. Magnus, you're in a rut. Like, seriously, deeply, madly, mega in a rut. And it's driving me batty having you mope about the place like this.
I'm not moping. It's a rough patch. That's all.
I know this has been hard on you, and I've been patient. But you can't just keep going on like this, Magnus. A knocking at the apartment door distracts us from the topic at hand. I'll get it. Weird. I don't think we're expecting any deliveries.
Hey!
Guess who's here? Is it Teo? Yes. Hello, gorgeous. I blinked twice in astonishment as two of them waltzed right into the bathroom, and behold my unkempt appearance. I was sporting a mouthful of frosty toothpaste paired with week-long unwashed pajamas hanging off my bod. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know I completely dig you regardless of what you look like. You are beautiful inside and out. Hey, Teo. I haven't heard from you for a while, and I was starting to get worried. Thought I might pop in and make sure you're still alive and kicking it. Dude, if I didn't contact my boyfriend for a week, he would think I was dead. He would have called the police. He would have been freaking the fuck out. Why are we so casual? What the hell? That's crazy work. That is nuts. Anyways, as you can see, I'm taking breaths. Mostly eating and drinking. I think that qualifies for existing, right? Hun, we need you better than just existing. We all want you to be happy. The whole crew has been asking about you. That's unnecessarily kind of them. We all care about you, but mostly and especially me. Which is why I'm dragging you from this den of depression and taking you out for an afternoon of fun and food. My stomach grumbles at the thought of a nice meal. Juniper, my dearest, you are more than welcome to join us. The more the merrier.
Definitely.
I'm so in. But, no buts. Unless you're talking about my bottom, in which case, look at it all you want. Teo manages getting a smirk from me. Alright, I'll let you finish getting ready. Guess there's no avoiding it. Best I can do is play along, try to be good company for Teo. It's unfair to keep pushing him aside like this. I switch from pajamas to actual normal clothes, even if my actual normal clothes could probably double as pajamas, and get ready to roll out. The three of us pile into a bus, taking off to destinations unknown to me at least. They clearly know where they're going. I'm not particularly talkative on the way there. I'm painfully aware of it. I feel awkward. Like I should say something, but don't know what to say. So Juniper carries on a conversation with Teo, the two of them content to chirp away without me. And you can tell it's not really the New York subway because the signs aren't in Helvetica. That's the telltale mistake. It's just like Vancouver or something. I try several times to join in the conversation, but when I open my mouth, the words aren't there. I'm lousy company, aren't I? I don't know why Teo is even still interested in me. The family curse can't be broken. What if this is as good as it gets? What if there's really no hope? Teo deserves better than this hot mess of a person he's tied himself to. Eventually, we arrive at our destination. A little arcade-themed restaurant, combining games and alcohol and dining into one tidy package. Here we go! Unusually excited to be going to some rundown little dive, Juniper hurries on in without me, dragging Teo with her. And I'm left all alone in the parking lot. With a shrug, I open the door and enter the darkened locale. Did we, like, acquire this place somehow or something? Like, is this the new place? Is this place even open for business yet? None of the lights are on. Hello? Juniper? Where'd you go? Okay, this is now unnecessarily creepy. But before I can wonder if a giant animatronic bear is gonna leap out and eat my face. Not the FNAF reference. Awesome. The house lights come up. Surprise! Happy Intervention Day, Magnus! What? What she said. We're staging an intervention on your behalf. And we're also having a wake for Francine, since, we weren't really welcome at her funeral and couldn't really hang around for the ceremony. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to heal properly, considering Deco kicked us all out before we could really do anything about anything. And here we are. So, it's a wake and an intervention.
A wake intervention, maybe?
A wake intervention, really? Wake, yeah.
Correctamundo!
Yep, it was my idea. Well, my iris came up with the idea and gave me all the contact information I needed, but basically my idea, right? Just the thing to pick you up when you're feeling down. Really, seriously, kid, you've been a damn sad sack ever since things went to shit. Which I get, believe me, but it ain't healthy. So, we went ahead and rented out this place for the afternoon, and bring the family back together. For you, for Francine, for all of us. Now that you know why we're all gathered here today, let's get this party started. Teo drags me into the group of my friends, positioning me at the head of it all. Leaving me a little bewildered, honestly, but trying to defend myself all the same. I don't need an intervention. This is just how things work in the October family. We don't get to have nice things. The universe hath decreed it so. Then we defy the universe! And we're going to help you defy it too.
BFFs for life.
So, one by one, we're going to tell you how awesome you are and exactly why you're so awesome. And by the end, you'll be feeling a lot better. Hopefully. I let out a sigh, settling in. I owe it to them to sit and listen. They're my friends. Teo more so than that, even. And I know I've been lousy company. I'm not so far gone as to deny that fact. Fine, lay it on me. I'm listening. Allow me to begin then. When you first entered the Funplex, I had my doubts. But I'm a naturally suspicious person. And thankfully, those doubts were easily disproved by your skill and enthusiasm. You came looking for your dream and found it. I swore to protect that dream, and that promise is what brought me here today. And on your very first day, you went headfirst into the most chaotic situation the Funplex could have offered. A birthday party. You did so without hesitation. When a disruptive parent was screaming at a child over something that wasn't his fault, you stepped right in and dealt with it. Again, no hesitation. Impressive. Even the issue of stolen tickets, a touchy problem to deal with when children's emotions are on the line, was dealt with effectively. Since then, you've become an event manager, without goading, without prompting, showing great ambition. You turned the Funplex's fortunes around, giving your all to promote it. You've made your dream a reality. For years, I was supposedly in charge of the Funplex, but really, all I accomplished was shuffling numbers around. You are the one who helped it soar. And for that, you have my thanks. You are an exceptional individual. That fact remains true, regardless of whether you can see it for yourself. Me next. Remember when I screwed up and didn't tell you about the job opening in my office? You weren't mad, not even a little bit. Not even quietly mad like you could have been.
BFFs for life.
I know I can count on you, and you can count on me. Even when one of us makes a mistake, it can never shake that friendship apart. When I came to you wondering if I should leave that job I hated, you told me to follow my dreams. You gave me great advice, and I've never been happier. I followed suit and chased my own dream. You inspire me.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my god, Ben and Matt! Are we fashionably late? Ben? Matt? In the flesh.
Ooh, what if?
Unless this world is a vast simulacrum. What? That we're all just brains in jars? Could be.
Well, isn't that something?
Well, if that's the case, Magnus is the cutest little brain in a jar we never actually met. It's true, and he brought so many cute dates to our little shop. So nervous at first, but in time, he became part of the Twin Pines Mall family. Dearly missed. Don't remind me. Our new neighbors are so boring. They never come in for a treat or a read. Speaking of treats, we brought cake. We'll just be over here, getting the goodies ready. Don't mind us. Ooh, cake. I mean, my turn. Magnus, you are a true friend of the Funplex.
So frustrating.
Unlike the bastards who own it now. Positively, Naomi. Or positivity. Oh my god, can I read? Positivity, Naomi. We're emphasizing positivity today. Right. Back at Donnawood, you convinced Gavin to get some games I really wanted for the Funplex. And wow, you even brought home Wyvern Keep. What a find.
Wonderful.
You're a friend of arcade games in general, just like me. And even if you don't love them at a fanatical level, like, me, I know you love them all the same. I know you're not happy with how things turned out. I'm not really happy about it either. It sucks. But we did good things together in the time we had.
Hamza has arrived.
Hell yeah. You're late. An event does not truly begin until Hamza makes his presence felt.
My blood burns.
Magnus, Hamza understands your fury. The hated enemy of all who love arcades has despoiled your funplex. However, in our short time together, I saw a burning spirit in you. I accepted your offer for Wyvern Keep, recognizing that passion within you.
Ha ha!
Hamza would be shamed forever if he did not intervene and raise your spirits to new heights. And that is what he shall do. Ooh, cake. Excuse me a moment. Now I want cake. When do I get cake? Soon, but I have things to say first. Things that will hopefully inspire you to be a happy clam instead of a grumpy Gus. I'm a happy clam now. See how I clam happily? Can I have cake? From our first day at the Funplex together, you've been supportive of me, even after I gave you quite the scare with Pinky. You didn't even let that bother you, and from the moment we tackled many a crisis on the Funplex floor together.
Amazing!
I've adored when we concoct hypothetical adventures on our downtime. You're amazingly fun to be around. You worked so hard to make Funplex Funfest successful. I watched you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that, and in the end, it all came together just how you planned. As the floor attendant on duty during Funplex Funfest, I got to see firsthand all the smiles you brought to all those people. You rocked it. I saw you helping that customer when their game crashed. Losing your high score due to faulty electronics is no fun, but you dealt with it and made that person's day. When I was being overwhelmed by ravenously parched gamers, you stepped up and made sure all those thirsts were quenched. You are a soda fountain of knowledge. You made the Funplex a fun place to be for everyone. For the staff, for the casual and pro gamers, for the families, for me. I can honestly say that when you took over doing events at the Funplex, we've never had more fun. They've just been the best, all thanks to you. Ooh, I forgot we still have cake. Need some of that. Just when I thought the speaking was done, a lull in the wake intervention, the most important person to me takes a step forward. My heart swells as he begins. Magnus, I love you. My heart beats steadily at 120 BPM for you, just like most of the songs from Showtime Stage. You helped me to look deep within myself, and I learned that it's okay for me to take care of me. I was merely a community manager when I met you, but you inspired me to become a leader. You are so loved, not only by me, but everyone here. The former Funplex crew cares about you. So soak up all that love and let it consume you. I'm speechless. Seems Magnus has some thinking to do. This is pretty normal for him when he gets that faraway look. Shall we begin the wake for Francine then? There's cake and coffee and spirits from the bar. Cake! As if in slow motion, I watch them all switch their attention from me and redirect it towards the refreshments. They're all smiling, conversing, and serving cake to each other. None for me, thank you. Watching the blood sugar. Fuck me, this cake is amazeballs. Not the amazeballs. All we need now are some rockin' tunes to get this party on the next level. All of them, here to support me. Even without the Funplex. Even after everything going wrong. After Francine being taken from us too soon. I'd never really thought of myself as central in all this. I was the outsider at first. The one who walked in those doors looking for a job, nothing more. I've always been on the outside, honestly. Moving from town to town, always the new kid, never really important to anyone. Not until I'd settled in one place just long enough to get to know Juniper. But by then, I'd come to expect that I'd never be happy. So when I finally was happy and that got taken away, well, I guess I'd assumed that's how things go. Going with the flow. But now? I don't want this to end. I want to feel like celebrating again. Change is inevitable, and I can adjust. The game isn't over, not by a long shot. Yeah. No. No. I refuse to give up. Right here, I have everything I've ever wanted, whether I realized it or not. I've got friends, I've got love, I've got a legacy, proven in their words. I can't mope and stew in my losses. I can't deny the power of what I accomplished, and I will not stop fighting for what I need in life. This game is not over. I'll take a fucking huge slice of that cake. Lots of icing. Lots of icing is a no-go. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say every cake ever, I think, would be better with 50% less icing at least. There's simply just too much frosting on cakes. And I'll say it. I'll say it. The only cakes that I've ever had that have not had too much frosting are chantilly cakes. Y'all ever had a chantilly cake? Dude. Chantilly cake is my favorite cake. Hands down. It is so ridiculously delicious. You put fruit in like a dessert or something, I am there. Cheesecake is a close second. I love a good cheesecake. But yeah, anyways, too much icing makes me sick. Makes me feel like shit. The group looks up when I speak, slightly confused by the declaration. So I walk right up and claim my slice on my own. Sorry, gang. I screwed up and let this drag me down. Won't happen again. We're here to party, right? Let's party. Let's raise a glass high to all we've done together. Nobody can deny that we're an unstoppable force, with or without a funplex. Who's with me? Smiles all around. And you know what? It feels good to be back. For the next hour or so, my sadness fades away, piece by piece. We share stories, many of which I'd never heard before, about the funplex and the shenanigans that went on around it. Surprisingly, Ben and Matt spin the most tales about Francine's exploits. They've been neighbors for decades. The so-called Wakedervention gives us all a chance to heal and to bond. For all we've lost and all we still have, we're still together. Despite one little problem, which nobody wants to talk about. The hour grows late, and we only have this place rented for the afternoon. I can feel it in the air, that unspoken worry. Will we see each other again? No doubt we can arrange more get-togethers, but they'd all be reunions over what was lost, not really building anything new. Nostalgia, not progress. Without the funplex, without Francine, will we eventually simply fall away? That dark little thought troubles me as I swirl my drink, remaining quiet while others talk.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Magnus. Hey, Iris, what's up? I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, me too. I'm glad too. So, do you want me to start finding you a new job? I can search while you're talking with your friends. No problem. I do need to get back to living my life. But what sort of life do I want to live? I want my dream back, bro! I don't just want a new job. I want my dream, my funplex. Not just 4 walls and a bunch of games, but a community. When I was a lifeguard, I'd saved lives and made a safe space for people who enjoyed the pool with friends. I'm not done with that dream, and more importantly, I don't have to be done with it. All around me are pioneers of this community, this culture, technicians, designers, enthusiasts, investors, people with connections. And that's when the idea starts to form. Iris, can you search for commercial spaces? Ones for lease or rent? Huh? Of course. I'm a literal search wizard. Why?
Oh, I know.
I think I get it. I step away from my quiet corner and approach the group. It's time to take back control over my dream. And that starts here. I'd like to keep sharing my dream with you. No, I'm not ready for this to end. The crowd hushes when I grab their attention. I set my drink aside and step up to them. The funplex was my dream. I came to see that in time. A wonderful place where friends could have fun together, away from their troubles and cares. I want to keep sharing that dream with you. There's only one way to make that a reality. We open our own arcade. Everyone in this room loved the funplex and misses it dearly. We'll always miss Francine, but in honor of what we've lost, we need to keep fighting. I'm ready. Are you? Who will help me start a new dream? I'd be honored to join your dream, Magnus.
Woohoo!
The funplex saved me in a lot of ways. I won't let it go so easily. I'd love to join you.
As would I.
Faced with the prospect of spending my remaining days at home or at some other arcade, I'm absolutely in favor, love. I may be a mere customer, but my heart called the funplex home. It'll call your new arcade home as well. Also, he's rich. All I'm saying is Percy could help. You've got my thanks, both of you. Okay, this is no longer a wake-intervention, people. Now it's a conspiracy.
A Wichter-conspiracy!
Sure, girl. It's a wake-intervenspiracy. Sure, why not? We settle down around a table, a nice round one, to discuss the future. I'm leading the show, but I don't take the spotlight. Not this time. We have to all work together to make this dream a reality. This is it. The next few decisions are going to be critical in shaping the future I have in my mind's eye. I'll need to choose very, very carefully, because there's no take-backsies. Iris is looking for spaces we can use, but we're going to need money, obviously, and arcades are risky startups. I could always respond to one of the many Nigerian princes emailing me amazing offers, but I'm thinking more traditional funding is safer. The way I see it, there's 4 people here who could foot the bill to get us off the ground. Hamza, you've got a tangled web of connections in the industry, access to games, and plenty of cash. And a freewheeling whimsy to spend it.
Hamza must consider this.
Hamza is a man of resources indeed. Percy, you've been building a charity war chest for when you pass. I know an arcade isn't a sound investment, and hardly a charity, but...
Right.
You promised me Mr. Moopy would always have a home. If I can't help restore that home... Or if I can help restore that home, I'm game, love. Ben and Matt, you two know how to run a small business. You've got invaluable knowledge and resources we could draw from, if you're willing to dip a toe in this industry. We have been looking for new horizons to conquer. New lands to explore.
There would be caveats,
Terms,
conditions,
exemptions,
rules,
guidelines,
best practices.
worst practices.
That's not a thing.
Oh. Hamza would likewise have conditions.
As would I.
Understandable, of course. Let me hear your thoughts, then I'll decide. Oh my god. Whoa. That's rather serious. In order for me to take back your play, Hamza would require you to strike at the very heart of Dekonami's empire. And open a family restaurant alongside your arcade. And take from him the very business he adores so much. We don't know the first thing about running a restaurant. Thankfully, your business partner does. I own several restaurants. I would provide staffing and resources.
No risk, no reward.
Now, this is a risky play, but if it succeeds, the rewards shall be tremendous. Actually, that's similar to what Matt and I had in mind. Oh yes, but rather than a restaurant, well, we'd like to open a barcade. I've always wanted to run a bar. I'd raise a glass to that idea. After all, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. Now, it wouldn't be nearly as large scale as a family restaurant. Much safer. Not quite as profitable, but still quite tidy. Honestly, I'd prefer if you simply ran a video arcade, nothing more. Adding on extra seems like a recipe for failure. We know how to operate a simple, small-scale arcade, so why not stick with our strengths? I'll grant it has a lower ceiling for success than the others. It's just an arcade and won't pull in anybody looking for more. Low risk, low reward. But I'd say that would be my condition. We need to stick to the basics. Take the big gamble on a family restaurant, make a cozy little barcade, or just go with classic video arcade. The decision is going to affect the entire direction of the new venture. What do I want? What's my dream? I'm gonna say it. I'm not a huge fan of the barcade idea because I wish it was a cafe arcade rather than a barcade, you know what I mean? This is coming from someone who doesn't drink and doesn't like to drink, but I don't know, it feels a little like exclusionary, I guess. Like, to me, I want nothing more than nice spaces where you can socialize that are not bars, you know? So I don't know. I'm just a little bit opposed to that idea personally, so I don't think I'm gonna go with that, even though it's kind of like the middle ground idea. Steal Deco's restaurant business, or just regular video arcade. That's tough, because I also feel like really coming for Deco's business
is scary. He'll really want to fuck us up after that. But also, it's like big risk, big reward. I'm not sure. I think I just want to make it an arcade, you know? I'd like to stick to our core strengths. We know how to operate an arcade, so let's operate an arcade. Percy, I'd be honored if you'd lend your aid to that. Wonderful. I'm looking forward to working with you. It would be a wonderful legacy to leave, would it not? Suppose asking you to reach for the stars was a bit much. But we still support you, whatever may come. Hamza admits to disappointment, but cannot defy your iron will. I will say, yeah, too, it's kind of a nice thing for Percy to be like, yeah, leaving this in my legacy kind of thing. I think that's nice. Okay, the second thing we need to talk about is what sort of games we want to focus on. The Funplex did a little bit of everything, and we will too. We want to include all gamers. But we can also highlight one style of play or another, really provide best-in-class gaming for a specific audience. Any thoughts? Game focus.
Sweet.
Retro games. It's gotta be all about retro games. You know I'm capable of keeping those older games in tip-top shape. If we focused on retro games, we could serve an audience that Deco's completely ignoring.
As would I.
I would agree with Miss Fairchild. Retro games are an untapped market. I'll grant it wouldn't pull in as much profit, but we know gamers are seeking them. We don't have to make all the money, just enough to keep our pure and untainted dream afloat. And we can do that with a well-curated retro game library.
Nope, no way.
Retro's cool and all, but let's talk esports games. They'll draw money better than jamming a magnet up your ass and dragging you through Fort Knox. Get a couple good fighters, more than one FOD, some race and dance games, the kind of stuff where folks can compete head-to-head, and we're golden. I have to agree with Queen Bee. You can play retro games on emulators and consoles, but you can't duplicate the community experience of an arcade at home. If we had an esports focus, we could build something together, which works as a second home for all sorts of gamers. I think you know what I'm going to suggest. Redemption and prize games. They provide excellent profits. It's the core of Deco's business model, yes, but I think if we focus on those games, we can do them right. No predatory pricing, no scams or ripoffs. And the truth is, most people enjoy them. From kids wanting to win that big prize to the wistful adults recapturing their childhood dreams of playing skee-ball on the boardwalk.
Yes!
They're simple to play and most of all, fun. If they're done right, we can make meaningful memories for everyone. And prizes! Did I mention the prizes? We can stock the shelves, the coolest prizes around. Better than Deco's prizes, which fall apart 2 minutes after you get them. Which matches my ideal arcade more? We'll have all three, sure, but do we emphasize retro games, esports, or prize games? I kinda lean towards retro. I kind of agree that it's like, it is completely out of Deco's customer base, so we're catering to the people who don't have a place to go. And like, I get the esports thing, but also it's hard to bank on something like esports because it is fairly, at least in this game, you know, like it's very like social media based. So it's not something that I feel could age super well, whereas retro, like the older a game gets, the more retro it gets, you know what I mean? And I don't like the whole like prize games thing. I don't care about that. I say retro. Deco thinks that only new games make money. Let's prove him wrong, and have the world's greatest retro-style arcade ever. Woohoo! I'll pick only the best games, don't worry. Excellent. I'm looking forward to this project. Okay, so that's money and games. Now let's go beyond what we already had at the Funplex. Let's really make this something special. New projects. I want a defining feature of arcade. One which will make it stand out. Something nobody else is doing. Something nobody's even thought of before. All ideas on the table. If it was too outlandish for the Funplex, it's not too outlandish for me. Show me what you got. Well, I mean, I'm not really a part of this, but... Come on, you're my best friend and 100% a part of this. I couldn't be here in this moment if it wasn't for you. Go on, Juniper. What's your idea?
Branding. I'm freelancing now, which means I could come on board as your personal brand manager. One heck of a consulting gig. An arcade needs really stellar image management to stand out from the rest, like the event poster I made for you.
What if?
Oh, hey Juniper, I can add to that. What if we work together? I was thinking of designing a new mascot costume anyway, but I could collaborate and coordinate with you on how it'll tie into the visuals for the rest of the arcade.
Yes!
It's a winning combination. Ashley and I can do great work together coming up with some really stellar branding and marketing. We'll stand out in a crowd. Hell, I know exactly what sort of project I want us to do. Streamer support. Assembling and packing away my streaming rig each day is ridiculous, and duct taping a webcam in front of a screen is a lousy hack. If I could just step right up to a game and, I don't know, swipe a card or something and be streaming with direct feed in seconds, well, I can think of a dozen streamers who'd just flock to our place to get a piece of that.
Yeah!
Actually, I think I know how we could do that. I could rig up general purpose daughter board, which plays man in the middle with the video feed, works with an RFID reader to get a streamer's info, ties into a central video encoder on the Wi-Fi network. Yeah, I can make it happen, and without damaging any classic hardware. Once more in English, please. I know software, not hardware. We stick a thingy in the thingy and everything just works fine. I'm sure some legal and copyright issues to tackle, but if we can do it, let's be the world's first streaming arcade. I was thinking, well, if the reason why older games are considered a dead end is that they don't work in the ticket game ecosystem,
Lovely.
why not add ticket output to normal games? We could reward skilled players with prize tickets based on their high score, or speed of completion. With the right balancing, we could make old games just as desirable as new ones.
Perhaps.
As Naomi said, there may be legal hurdles to clear, but I'm in favor of this idea. It's not that I love prize games. I find them boring, personally. You know I favor pinball. But profit is the lifeblood of an arcade, and prize games are profitable. If we can get Moopy producing tickets, well, that's something nobody's ever done before. Interesting, but as much as I'd love to do all three, I doubt we'd have the money or time for that. Let's focus on one project to launch our arcade with. Do we want to have really good branding, or streamer support, or retrofit tickets on old games? I think the branding one is the least special. Like, that's not something like that nobody's doing. Like, it's just branding. So that's not unique in any way. But the streaming thing, kind of like I said, I'm not sure how well that's going to age. Like, it'd be a really cool gimmick for a while, but I don't know. I don't know if that's like a long-term thing. I think making the tickets would kind of be like a best of both worlds because it ties into having a retro focus while also making more money with the retro. So that's what it feels to me. It's a best of both worlds thing, having modern ticket gaming integrated into classic games. Not a casino, but a genuine way to reward achievement and hard work. Whatever you need to make it happen, do it. The upfront costs may be a bit much, and I have a lot of legal tape to cut through, but I think we can make it happen. Thank you. New lifeblood in the retro scene, drawing eyes to older games? I'm looking forward to the results. One more thing. The name. If this is going to be my baby, my dream arcade, I've got a name already in mind for it. So barring any objections, I'd like to welcome you all to... Arcade Spirits. Fuck it. I'm not in the mood to come up with my own name, okay? Arcade Spirits, is that right? That works. Also, I'm scared. No, I want to look. Okay, I was scared that, like, by not doing decisions that some people like, it was gonna go down. I was a little scared. But we're good. Let's call it Arcade Spirits. Arcade Spirits. I like it. We can work with that. Let's hear it for Arcade Spirits. A home lives again. How exciting. Fuck yeah. A toast, then? One by one, everyone raises their glasses. I fetch my room temperature drink and raise mine high in turn. For those we've lost and those we've yet to meet, let's do this right. Together we can accomplish anything. Now let's get super drunk. We don't need to do all that. I say together we can accomplish anything. I know that together we can accomplish anything. For arcade spirits and the future. For arcade spirits. Losing everything, then getting it all back and then some. It's been a roller coaster of a week, to be sure. But I can't rest now. Absolutely not. I need to take charge of this project, and my life in general. I have to do for them what Francine did for us. That's okay. I'm ready. I'm willing. And this is our time. Alright! Cleared level 6. You're proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Also, you've scored 18,400 points. Shops in the volcano-devastated city of Pompeii bear the characteristics of a pizzeria. That's a neat, if a bit depressing, pizza fact for you. What the hell? Do you want to save your game? Yes. I think because I have an odd number of episodes, since this is episodes, or chapters, really, I think they're called. Let's see. Or level chapter, whatever. You know what I mean. There's 7 and 8 left, so I think maybe I'll do 7, and then I'll save 8. Unless 7's, like, really short, but we'll see. And I'll save 8 for, like, a final episode. Because I feel like the last part of a game is usually, like, the longest, or at least, like, a visual novel like this that has, like, chapters, so we'll see. Usually it's, like, the first one that's really long, and then the last one that's really long. Is a distant future year 20-something. And for the first time, I'm entirely in control of my destiny. I'm no longer merely working in an arcade. Now I'm working on my future. Which admittedly still involves working in an arcade, but still, my future. I'll admit, it feels weird. I've grown so used to going with the flow, letting life batter and bruise me, that having a true and honest hand on the controls is a bit terrifying. Everyone's counting on me to keep the flame of Miss Francine's Funplex alive as we move on to the era of arcade spirits. And, well... I want this to be perfect. I will make it so. My hands are on the controls, and I intend to steer this ship true. They're relying on me to be the steady rock in the chaos of this new project, so that's what I have to be. I'll make them all proud of me, and proud to be a part of Arcade Spirits. If there's one driving reason to make Arcade Spirits work, it's Teo. To give him a home away from home after the fall of the Funplex. This will be ours, and I'm not going to settle for anything less, no matter what it takes. Now all that's left is to get through opening day without incident. I arrived early that morning to go over any last-minute preparations and make sure everything is in order. Plus, Juniper was sick of watching me pace back and forth at home after breakfast. So she lovingly shoved me out of the apartment and told me to be productive. Now, I stood in awe of the building, the dream I poured my heart and soul into. I still barely believed it myself. I paused a moment to let the reality finally hit me, and then stepped into my destiny. Nice! It's very purple, I like it. Pushing open the doors to Arcade Spirits, I was greeted by relative peace and quiet. Just the beeps and boops and people moving about doing last-minute preparations. We traveled a long and arduous road ever since the Great Waketer-Venspiracy. Gavin secured us a great rental space, an abandoned pizza place with that all-too-familiar triangular roof. Nobody else wanted it, but we didn't care about the funny shape. Quirk is in our favor. And I really couldn't have done all the renovations this place needed without the help of our financial benefactor. Percy gave up a large chunk of his savings for this. I hope we can do right by him, considering it was going to go to charity originally. Now it's going to us. We went with a familiar layout, if it ain't broke and all that, to show that we've still got the spirit and passion that made the Funplex great. But it's not all a carbon copy. We've got a few new additions that Francine would even be proud of. The video wall is a nice touch. That one was my idea. It alternates between running music videos, game promos, and high score leaderboards. We also repainted and did a general update on all the appliances and fixtures to give it a more finished feel, and less of a retired pizza place turned arcade vibe. Naomi and Percy worked together to pick out games with a decidedly retro feel. Considering Deco's focus on tickety gambling-ish games, this helps us stand out from the competition. She put in a lot of hard work restoring them, and truthfully, we've run into a lot of problems along the way. But watching her tirelessly working to perfect them is inspiring. It took some work to retrofit all our retro games for prize tickets, but in the end, Naomi managed to whip up a low-cost gadget that would do the trick. Now we won't feel the pressure to move older games out in favor of profitable prize games, and those looking for spurting tickets can and will play everything. Naomi put in lots of work, but she tells me it was well worth it. All of my decisions, all of my choices, made this. Made Arcade Spirits what it is. So much labor and love went into the project from all of us, and now all that's left is to officially open these doors. But before that fateful hour begins, I still want to do one last check on operations, just in case. Since we opted for a basic arcade, honestly, setup was a breeze. Naomi and Ashley worked together to get the games up and running. Ashley managed to impress Naomi when she pulled out her long-forgotten skills with electronics. Naomi seems to be busying herself with double, triple, and even quadruple checks of every game prior to opening. So, talk to me. We good?
Hi.
Oh, hey, Magnus, or should I call you boss? Magnus is just fine. Okay, we're good to go, Magnus. Great. Since we're focusing entirely on the games, we need to make sure they're absolutely perfect. Agreed. And you can count on me to deliver. I'd better hurry up and finish my checks, though. We're opening soon, and I want to finish this game. As you were, then.
See ya.
Toodles. Good. Not that I was too worried about the games. Keeping things simple worked out well for us. Percy was right. Running a classic arcade is right in our wheelhouse. After my quick check-in, I noticed the clock. Its unforgiving hands telling me it's not long now. See? Everything going perfectly. No detail overlooked, just according to Keikaku? Oh, Keikaku means plan. Thank you. I'm proud of everything we've accomplished. When those doors open and all our regulars come back to play, when new folks drawn by our advertising wander in, it'll all click. I allow myself a smile, pleased with our progress. Today is going to be a great day, the first day of our new dream. It'll be wonderful. As long as no unforeseen problems pop up. Hey, Magnus. Hearing Teo's voice is like a breath of fresh air within the stuffiness of Arcade Spirits. It's an arcade. Circulation is not its forte, and if there's one person I can depend on, it's Teo. I just made the rounds to check in with Gavin, Ashley, and Naomi, see if they needed any help. And they are RTG, ready to go. That's great. I'm glad to hear everything's going swimmingly. All this stress of opening has taken a toll on me. I feel like, I can't even make a wry joke. That's how stressed I am. Teo was all smiles when he first approached, but now I watch Teo's demeanor turn to uncertainty. I know it's not an ideal time, what with the doors opening in just mere minutes. But we really need to talk. Oh no. I feel my heart drop into the darkest corner of my stomach. Yeah, what are we doing? Whenever anyone uses the words, "we really need to talk," it's never ever good. Is it? With reservations, I choose my next words. Let's go neutral. Whatever Teo wants to discuss, it's obviously important to him enough to know I can't wait until later. I'd rather not drag this out and have this feeling of dread for the rest of the day anyway. You got it. You talk and I'll listen. Intently. Thank you. Teo takes a deep breath. I just got off the phone with my boss. They fired you? You and your wild imagination. They would never fire me. Okay, wait. Thinking about it, they technically could. But not in today's case. They've offered me the position of regional community manager. Here I was expecting the absolute worst, and well, this sounds actually pretty decent. It's at least a step up from absolute worst, right? That sounds like good news. It is. It's an increase in pay. I get to travel all over, and
I'd be in charge of all the Showtime stage communities across the entirety of North America. I get to be my own boss, essentially. This all seems pretty great. An advancement in his career, great opportunities. So why does Teo still look so worried? There's gotta be a catch. There's always a catch. Yep, that's all fantastic news, so what's the problem? Well, it would limit the amount of time we'd get to spend together. So, like, I'd only see you dancing 4 days a week instead of the usual 7? I quit, but Teo's silence tells me it's not funny. Okay, lay it on me. How significant of a change are we talking about? Teo shifts uncomfortably, all while my anxiety continues to mount. You know I love you, right? Yes, and I love you, but now I'm extremely concerned. And I really don't have the time to dawdle now. I'm supposed to open the doors in just a few minutes, and I don't have time for this back and forth. As much as I want to be here to intimately discuss the nuances of Teo's new job opportunity, I'm still under extreme stress with the grand opening. This is not the ideal time to talk about this. Please, just spit it out. I'd be traveling all over, and making multiple trips a month, almost every weekend. These workcations, if you will be anywhere from 4 to 7 days. Not ideal, to be honest. This would also mean I would have to hire a new community manager for this area, meaning someone else would be in charge of the Showtime crew here at the Arcade Spirits. But... Teo sighs, bringing his hands up in defeat. I know I promised to be here every day, dance my heart out and wink at you from afar. But with this new job, I just couldn't do that. They'd need me. The news had quickly turned from good to great and now disheartening. Bleakness curled my lips into a frown, realizing exactly what Teo's words meant. I wouldn't get to see him every day anymore, and I've grown so accustomed to the way his smile lights up the whole arcade. Daily flirty escapades of him tenderly kissing me in between songs would be a thing of the past. We wouldn't be able to sprint off for a romantic dinner after a long day at work like we used to do at the Funplex. Teo, this is... He hasn't really said how he feels about it. Like, I don't know if he's, like, actually happy about it, if he's, like, really considering, or if he's just, like, telling me about it. He's just, right now, he's basically just laying out the facts, so I don't know if he actually wants to or not. So I'm just gonna ask this, because the thought of not being able to spend all that time with Teo anymore is truly upsetting. We just talked about his new role at Arcade Spirits, too. He's going to be essential to organizing the new communities. And not having Teo to be there to bolster the spirits of everyone around him is truly going to impact the arcade's success. When we're talking the other night, you promised me. You promised to be here for me, for Arcade Spirits community. I can't do this without you. There, I said it, and there's no coming back from it. Teo takes a moment to digest everything, and his distaste of the situation mirrors back my own feelings.
Look, I think you might be overreacting a bit.
Me? Overreacting? What do you mean? I just don't want to, like, never see you again.
It's not like I'm not going to be seeing you.
Yeah, it'll just be significantly less.
Look, I'm not expecting you to be super jazzed about this, but what's the harm? It doesn't change our love for each other, right?
Oh, we don't need to go the jealousy route here. I don't like any of these options. I don't like any of these options. But I don't like any of this. I guess we're going... I don't like any of this. I put on my best smile. Okay, that's fine. You do you, Teo. I'm fine with this. Really. Really. You're convincing, I'll give you that. But I know you too well to know you're not fine with this. Oh, you want to be fine with it, to be supportive. But wanting something and being that thing are entirely different.
You gotta understand that I can't let this opportunity slip just because it means we won't see each other as often. I gotta try to make this work.
Okay, so I didn't know if he really wanted to or not before. I wasn't
From
sure.
day one, meeting you at the Funplex, you've told me to focus more on myself and my needs. And I've done that. But now I finally take the time to believe and give back to myself for all my hard work, to finally revel in my victory, and you want to get in the way of that?
I wasn't trying to. I immediately feel like human garbage. I've made a huge mistake. Teo,
Just save it, okay? Let's not dig this hole any deeper.
And with that said, Teo turns and walks away. Well, fuck. I can't handle this right now. As much as I want to stop everything and sort through this mess, I've got a job to do today. There will be time later to patch things up with Teo, presumably. I need to at least try to put this turmoil behind me, so I can focus on the first day of Arcade Spirits with a smile. Despite reeling from that incident just now, I'm ready to do this, because I have to be ready. No choice. Also, yeah, I will say, horrible time to discuss that. Could you, like, wait until the end of the goddamn day? That's kind of a shitty move. Like, this is literally, like, opening day of my character's dream. The thing everyone's been working so hard towards, and he's like, hey, what if I just, like, really stress you out really quick? Huh? Why would you... Dude, just save it for a better time. Oh my god. Like, if we weren't on a time crunch, sure. But we are. I would honestly be pretty mad if my boyfriend did something like that. Like, time and place, dude. Time and place. I know you probably want to talk about it as soon as possible, and that's good. But, like, maybe don't pick a horrible time. I'll say that. That was whack. That was whack, and I wasn't even trying to be, like, mean to him. I just... Is it autism? Is that... Because I didn't know unless he told me that he wanted to. I don't know unless you tell me. I can't read your mind. Just because you're telling me about an opportunity you got doesn't automatically mean that you want that opportunity if you're not saying you want it. Am I so wrong for that? Am I so fucking crazy for that? Whatever, that conversation pissed me off, but we persevere. I've got big plans for the opening ceremony. I'm going to open the doors, give my prepared speech to the gathered masses, and stay on hand to greet gamers as they enter. Stepping to the forefront, I grasp the door handles, and throw the gates to Arcade Spirits wide. Behold, gamers, I give you Arcade Spirits. Behold, I give you. Goddamn. I don't even have time to finish one line of my big dramatic speech. The crowd spills through the doors and runs right past me, eager to get to the games. Immediately, the arcade fills with the sounds of beeps and boops, games starting up and people laughing with delight as they find their favorites. Well, there goes my entire opening ceremony plans out the window. I had all sorts of stuff planned, but if folks want to just get to a game in, who am I to argue? After a few minutes of final checks around the place, I decide to move into Phase 2, meet and greets around the arcade. I walk the arcade like I did in my floor attendant days, talking with folks and making sure everything's running smoothly. Although I could probably track down Teo too, assuming he wants to talk yet, which may not be the case. Arcade Spirits is my domain, open to my exploration. Where should I visit first? If there's a crashed game, I will say, even regardless of Teo, this feels like it has priority. Most of the time, I'm drawn to Showtime stage because of the flashing lights and hit beats, not because it's completely silent. No music at all. As I approach, I see Naomi feverishly working to fix it. Seeing the whole thing without tunes synced to its flashy lighting rig is kinda depressing, and listening to Naomi mutter as she works, she undoubtedly feels the same way.
Oh,
This was working fine earlier. Why isn't it working now? Fortunately, Teo is proving surprisingly knowledgeable about the inner workings of his favorite game. You may need to re-image the hard drive. I know some gray area websites where we can get a replacement copy of the files if needed. This is the 3rd release version of Showtime Stage's software, right? Those are easier to come by than the more modern 4th version, oddly enough. The files aren't the problem. I think the hard drive itself was damaged in shipping, and if so, well, you might not be able to dance at all today. I'd have to order a new part. I'm sorry, there were just so many games to get up and running, and I must have missed this ticking time bomb of a hardware failure. Hey, it's cool. I don't need to get my groove on all the time. Since Showtime Stage is defunct, maybe Teo has a moment or two to spare. Hey, Teo, I just wanted to touch base. Teo smiles nonchalantly, a mask to everyone around him, save for me. Yep, that sounds about right, but it's going to have to wait. I can't abandon my other love, Showtime Stage, right now. I can't argue with solid logic. His game needs him. Showtime Stage is one of our flagship games. It's flashy, it's exciting, and Teo's dance moves bring the crowd in. Getting it working for opening day is a priority. Can we pull a hard drive from a different game and reformat it? I don't even know if that's possible, but let's go. This isn't the only game we have which uses a hard disk, right? We can pull and reformat one from another game, using Teo's files to make it a clone for Showtime Stage? Well, it'd mean voluntarily disabling one of our other games, but... Wait, I know! Wild Rider! That piece of poop is always crashing on us, and it's not like it's very popular. Let's yank the drive from that and make it Showtime Stage drive.
Yeah!
I can have that up and running in an hour. Sounds perfect. I'll send you the files, go get a bite to eat, and be back in time to show everyone what a great dance community we've got here at Arcade Spirits. So it'll take a bit of time, but we'll get our stage back in working order. Good, good. Maybe we'll get through opening day without any major problems aside from this. Before I go, I spot a gamer who's been watching, super curious about what's going on. I could swear I've seen this guy before, maybe in a crowd or something. Hey, is Showtime Stage really hosed? For now, yes, but we'll have it fixed up as soon as we can. Aw man, I wanted to get my groove on, that's a bummer. You know, might know a guy who knows a guy who can get you replacements super cheap. Or like, any game you want, anything, as long as you know, don't ask too many questions. Thanks for your generous offer, but we're fine. No reason to be mean, or to lampshade what's likely meant as an open invitation to do some crimes. I'm happy to see your enthusiasm for Arcade Spirits, but I think we can handle this. Sorry you can't play your favorite game right now, but it'll be fixed soon. The gamer shrugs it off, not too offended. It's cool. Just figured out offer. I dig this place, it's got a little bit of everything I like. I'll just come back later to wow all the ladies with my hot style. Later? That was odd. Is he a spy? Because he was one of the ones at, the Deco's Palace that we went to. Who was part of the fight or something, I think. So, I'm thinking maybe he's a spy. But as he fades back into the crowd, I decide to move on. Where should I visit next? Let's go to the change machine. Maybe there's an issue with it. Since we decided to stick with the basics, there aren't too many places to hang out and not play games. It's all games all the time. Surprisingly, Percy and Gavin have found a quiet corner near the change machine. Tanked. Completely tanked.
Much obliged.
I'm glad for your little tip. I was ready to invest a good chunk of my pocketbook in that company. All my hard work would have tanked right alongside it. This is par for the course when my siblings snatch up technology companies. It's a pump and dump, in essence. They stir up excitement in the acquisition, then drop it once it goes cold. I've never seen one of their endeavors bear fruit for very long, thanks to their short attention spans. I'm glad I could save you the heartache.
Apologies.
No offense. I think I can handle a few accidental heart-related puns without going into cardiac arrest, my good fellow. But it's good to avoid a pothole in the road of finance, yes? Especially with so many of my resources already tied up in Arcade Spirits. I approach them in what seems to be a natural lull in the conversation, although talk of finances is in itself quite a downer. So, stock market talk?
Ah, indeed.
I like to do my trades in the morning before I come to the arcade. Get all that bother over with so I can focus on Moopy. Afraid we're being astoundingly boring at the moment, Magnus. Just two overly serious gentlemen talking about finance. That's fine. I'm adulting at 110% efficiency today, having started a new business myself. I should probably learn about how, money works. Oh? What would you like to know about? Let's throw a party, bro. I plan to rent a chocolate fondue fountain, a DJ, a bouncy castle for tonight's closing party. How could I file those as business expenses? I'm not certain even my accounting wizardry could protect you from the IRS on that one. It does sound like an excellent shindig, but I think I'll pass. Chocolate gives me gas. Regardless, you shouldn't worry too much about the arcade's finances. That's why you've hired me, after all. The two sink deeper and deeper into conversation about currency exchanges, fiscal policy, tax rate changes, and I start to lose consciousness. I admire their passion, but there's only so much adulting I can handle in one day, and I need to reserve some for later. It's then that I notice a customer having some problems with the change machines. Oh, it's the teen. She frowns as she swipes her credit card through the slot, and again, and again. The little red error light popping each time she does so.
Oh, man.
Come on, this was working earlier. Sensing an opportunity to provide excellent customer service and further prove my adulting chops, I step in to help. Hello, good morning, I'm the manager here. Can I be of some assistance? She looks awfully familiar. Have we met before? Oh, right, I invited her to check out my arcade, didn't I? Guess that's why she's here.
What's up?
Hey, good to see you. Love what you've done with this place. Just love it. But something's wrong with your credit card readers. My card's legit. I was using it earlier with no issues, but now it's all messed up and stuff. Can you help me? I can pay cash if I gotta. I'm not trying to duck and run on you, but I'd really prefer to use the card. Let's try to get Iris. Fortunately, I happen to have an expert in all things digital in my employ. She can clear up your credit card problem nice and quick. Oh, Iris?
Iris, online.
Sure thing. Miss, can you please swipe your card across my screen? This takes the customer by surprise. She hesitates briefly before doing as asked. Right, you have an Iris. I remember that. Now processing. Please enjoy this recorded music.
Bad command or file name?
That's odd. It says your card was declined. Cancelled, even.
No helping it.
I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding, but whatever. I've got cash, plenty of cash. It's no problem at all. I'll take care of this myself. Thanks for trying. She quickly goes about her business, using a fistful of ones and various bits of change to pay her way through. Seemed a little eager to get out of here, actually. That's odd. Really odd. I might need to keep an eye on that one. With that matter settled, it's back to wandering the arcade. Where to next? Alright. Near the center of the arcade, Ashley's showing off her new cosplay to Queen Bee. Oh, cute! Wow, just wow. She's been keeping it a total surprise from all of us, working in secret on it. Impressive stuff. Seems to have attracted the attention of a brand new customer, at least. Hey, look, kid. A real-life in the wild newbie.
Hiya.
Welcome to Arcade Spirits. We're so happy to have you join us for opening day. Thank you. Child. Yes, you, young one. Tell Magnus here what you told us. That I've, never used a joystick before in my life. I mean, I've mostly just been to Deco's Palace or played games on my phone. Touchscreens and stuff, that's all. I've never really been much of a gamer, but all my friends are here today, so I was figuring I might try one out.
Whoa!
Never. Not even once played on a joystick. Can you believe it? Yes, we've all been there. No point in faulting them for it now. Aw, but that's just too cute. To be young and innocent again. And don't worry at all. Arcade Spirits is the right place to learn. We are a friendly, inviting sort of arcade. No mad skills required. Here, it's all about having fun. Oh yes, and you know what's super fun? Learning how to play Fist of Discomfort. Trust me. Wanna go a few rounds? I'll even spot you some tokens. Seeing Queen Bee's con, Ashley quickly tries to offer something else.
Nah.
Or you could join me for a round or two of TMNT. Nothing like a friendly, cooperative brawler game to ease you into things.
Nope, no way.
Best way to learn is to jump headfirst into the deep end, I say. No regrets, just mashing buttons and moving that joystick. And when you're starting with the hottest title, you've got a built-in community to learn from, right at your fingertips. But turtles who are ninjas. Looks like I might need to jump in and persuade this kid to choose a game. You look like a deer trapped in headlights. Stuck in the crossfire. Yeah, Queen Bee's kind of luring him in to absolutely beat his ass, which doesn't seem like a good way to get him into a game. I say Ashley. I like Ashley's idea. Let's start you out right. 2 buttons, 1 stick, endless fun. Ashley, want to show our new friend the majesty of mutants named after famous painters?
Yes!
Oh, do I? Let's go beat up some conveniently bloodless robot ninjas and get shell-shocked. Okay. Sure, lead the way. The newbie seems happy with this decision, even if it's just because they get to play with Ashley, who's a bit less intimidating. Oh fuck, I was looking forward to decimating that newbie quite a bit. In a good-natured way, of course. I'm still learning from my teammates in 4HK, and I'm eager to pass some lessons on. Okay, I'm going back to beating the crap out of FO Deer. You have fun out there, okay? You've earned this day, through your blood, sweat, and tears. Hopefully more blood than sweat and tears, but you get the idea. Time for me to move on. Before I can continue my wanderings, Gavin pops up directly in my path. Stop whatever you're doing and look towards the doors without making it look like you're looking for anyone in specific. What? Okay, what am I pretending not to be looking for? Mrs. Jean Defame. I have no idea who that is. The top arcade critic in the city. Her reviews can make or break an arcade easily. I didn't think she'd be coming today, as normally some little independent arcade is beneath her interest, but apparently she's made an exception. If we don't want to end up smeared across every website she writes for, I suggest you go play nice and show her all the positives of arcade spirits. Okay, I'm on it. Best foot forward. She's the redhead near the entrance, with the handbag. Best of luck. Thank God for Gavin. I easily spot her thanks to Gavin's cues. Considering this morning lacked the usual chaos I experienced on my first day at the Funplex, I'd say we're off to a great start, and I'm sure this reviewer will appreciate that. Wearing my most professional smile, I stroll over to the entrance. Me? Oh! Damn, it's her. From the first episode, that sucks. You. I remember you. Oh no. Oh no. My dear, wonderful Josh had a miserable time in your arcade at that birthday party. You and your lanky friend implied my Josh wasn't smart enough to know how coin slots work. Well, this arcade was fun while it lasted. Might as well burn it all down to ashes and build a new arcade on those ashes 100 years from now, after this blows over. Before I can try to defend myself, she holds up a hand to stop me. Now, while I seriously question the wisdom of allowing you to run an arcade, and would love nothing more than to give you 0 stars and walk away immediately, I am unfortunately committed by ethical standards to stay and properly review your establishment in a relatively unbiased fashion. So as unpleasant as this may be for both of us, I suggest we remain professional, even if you've dug yourself a rather deep hole to climb out of in my view. Understood? Even if I want to go on a tirade or chew her out, I've got to think of the arcade. This isn't some rando angry parent. Not this time. Feels like chewing around glass, but I need to swallow my pride on this. Understood. Excellent. What I need from you now is to stay out of my way. No special treatment or consideration. I need to observe your arcade as a disinterested outside party so that I can judge your facility and atmosphere. But rest assured, if I see some egregious mistake, I will bring it to your attention, pointedly. My readers, likewise, will become very aware of your shortcomings. I do my best to support consumer activism, and that requires absolute honesty of any difficulties I observe. So until such time as I require you, I suggest we speak no further. Agreed? Sure, fine. As you were, then. Wonderful, just wonderful. Not only does she hate us right off the bat, but I can't even leap to the defense of what we've built here without antagonizing her further. I may need to talk with Gavin about how to save Arcade Spirits from an inevitable negative review. Nothing else I can do now but to pray to the arcade gods that everything from here on out goes perfectly. Once again, I wander the floor, but this time, while it's all smiles and pleasantries on the outside, I'm left all alone battling my thoughts. Now more than ever, I need to present the perfect arcade. If we're a bug under a magnifying glass thanks to this new wrinkle, well, I aim to be an absolutely majestic bug. A bug of bugs. A bug of which knows no equal. We'll send this Mrs. Defame packing with nothing but positive things to say. Besides, the morning wasn't too eventful. Who's to say the afternoon will be a disaster? Okay, famous last words. And then the afternoon was a disaster. I knew I had spoken too soon the second I saw Gavin approaching me, with a tinge of worry furrowing his brow.
Utterly ridiculous.
It shouldn't be possible for us to be out of nachos in the vending machines this fast, and yet we are. I have receipts for ordering exactly enough to fill them up, and yet there were only a few bags in there. A missed delivery, perhaps? And that was the least of our problems. Magnus, we've got an electrical problem. 3 of the retro games have shorted out. I don't understand. I tested the power supplies. Outright rebuilt a few of them. Unless someone's seriously scuffing their sneakers and shocking the coin boxes, we're taking a failure somewhere in our electrical wiring. Calamity after catastrophe. They just kept piling up.
What?
All of the toilets stopped working. All of them. We need to call a plumber fast, and not that one that jumps on turtles. There goes any hope of a perfect opening. What are we gonna do? This doesn't make any sense. It's those three.
Well.
It's the 3 people. They're sabotaging. Because the coin machine. Yep. I'm freaking out. I'll admit that. I'm freaking out. Maybe we should close down for the day? Iron out the wrinkles. Try again tomorrow. We're hastily losing our grip on things, and if I don't say anything, we may as well call it quits. I must refocus our energy. I'm gonna say command the troops. No way. We are not giving in just because of a few bugs in the system. We are the Funplex X-Patriots, the proud crew of Arcade Spirits. Did we give up when Deco came knocking? Hell no. And we aren't giving up now. I want to hear some solutions. Talk to me. Ashley? Their group exchanges nervous glances, then thankfully stops to breathe and think.
Ooh.
I will become the plumber we need. I mean, not exactly, but I'll grab a plunger and do what I can. We'll have to close down the bathrooms for now, but I'm sure we can convince some of our neighbors to loan us theirs, maybe? I'll check next door with them before I go do battle with our demonically possessed toilets. And while I'd say this vending machine issue is human error, I have enough faith in my own error checking to say this human is not responsible. I'll make some calls with our distributors and see where the chain broke down. And also see about ordering some quick replacement stock. Mine's a bit more complex. I need to replace the fried power supplies, but I can do that. I can do most of those today. Meanwhile, I put a feeler out to the indie arcade community online. See if we can get an electrician with arcade experience out here quickly. I've been meaning to get back into online groups, and even if it means popping my head up in a crowd, I'll do it. Okay, good solutions, people, good solutions. I won't be able to work the floor while I'm taming our restrooms. Magnus, are you good with covering for me? Things seem to be getting more intense as the day picks up. You 3 focus on your tasks at hand. I may be the boss, but I was a floor attendant originally. I can handle whatever Arcade Spirits throws at me. Got it? Gotcha. But I'm changing out of this first. I don't want to get poo water all over our new mascot. Toodles! I'm on it. You can count on me. With all three busy, that leaves me in charge of every problem that may emerge for the rest of the afternoon. No way to tap out with someone to help me with these situations. I need to work fast, to hit every problem before it's too late. Can't leave any stones unturned this time. No risk of letting something spiral out of control. But I'm ready. I mean, I have to be. No choice. Feeling freshly invigorated, I start my floor check. There are problems all around me, but what should I tackle first? Let's do, the ticket. Streaming out of an unattended game. A small crowd has gathered near one of the retro arcade games we'd fitted with the ticket dispenser. One which is spewing an endless supply of tickets onto the floor. The high score display keeps flashing, but rather than a number, it just flashes error again and again.
Nope, no way.
Okay, everyone, obviously this is not supposed to be happening. It's a bug. Nobody, and I mean nobody, takes these tickets on my watch. Got it? Oh, kid, good thing you showed up. You're pretty short-staffed today, huh? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted that arcade critic to overhear. This is going to make for one hell of a review, I suspect. Don't worry, Queen Bee, your arcade enforcer of justice, is on hand to pick up the slack. Now help me find the plug so we can shut this thing down. Good thing Naomi's instilled some of her arcade-fixing knowledge onto us since we've known her. We find the plug tucked neatly under a flap of carpet and yank it out. With the tickets ceasing, the crowd gets bored and leaves. That'll at least stop it until we can delve deeper. Mostly problem solved? Alright, I need to get back to my game. Good luck figuring this one out, okay? It's probably just a random error. This is experimental new hardware. These little boxes Naomi made which add ticket output to 1980-something games. Although Naomi did do a bunch of double and triple checks to our hardware, she'd assured me it'd be fine. And since she's busy currently, I've only one option to turn to for technological assistance. Iris, can you check the security camera footage? I want to know who played this game last.
Iris, online.
Already on it. I've been analyzing the video feeds ever since I saw the error. It looks like the person who broke the game was a tall man with blue sunglasses. You think he did this on purpose? Considering I'm seeing him literally pick the coin door lock and mess with the internals, yeah, I'd guess it wasn't an accident. 99.97% sure it's not an accident. It's odd though. He didn't even take the tickets. He just crashed the machine and walked away. It's that dude from the Hamza meetup that I called out for being a deco spy. I can't explain his motivations, but that would be accurate, yes. Thanks, Iris. Time to get to the bottom of this. Oh no, I guess it's this guy. Never mind. Because when she said like sunglasses, I was like, oh? Never mind. For starters, doesn't take long to track the guy down. For starters, there's his rather unique fashion sense. Also the way he's glancing left and right, checking if the coast is clear, before kneeling down to futz with another lock. Kinda hard to give him the benefit of the doubt, or even a second chance. He clearly broke the rules of the arcade. Although he looks like the sort who could break me if I break the news to him badly. I should choose my words wisely, ones that involve me staying in one piece. Sir, I'm afraid I need to ask you to leave. No sense letting this guy off the hook. We keep this simple and clean. Sir, I'm the manager of this arcade, and I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Now. Immediately, he straightens up, looming large over me in rather threatening fashion. I'm sorry, what was that, manager? You telling me to leave? You heard me. At first, I think he's going to bounce me out the door instead of bouncing himself, but with a growl, he backs down. Fine, it's your call, buddy. Yours alone. And he walks right on out the door without another word. I'm left in a state of utter confusion as our exchange. I would assume at our exchange or something. That seems suspiciously easy. But a win is a win. With that in the bag, I quickly look around to see if there are any other nearby problems I can address. Alright, let's do the cursing one. As I hear the clang and bang of someone assaulting a cabinet, I see Percy holding up a finger to grab my attention. I motion for him to join me, and he does. Thank goodness. I tried to grab Ashley, but she was in a hurry, brandishing a plunger like it was some sword. There's so much going on right now. What's happening? Some hooligan's working his way down the retro games, yelling at them and smacking around the joysticks like they're speed bags. I swear he was going to knock over our joust. That's how hard he was shoving that cabinet. People have been avoiding going near him ever since he started raging out. It's causing quite a scene. I'll take care of it, Percy. Thanks. Be careful, love. I don't like the looks of this one. He places a hand on my shoulder in solidarity before leaving. This happens more often than you'd think. Someone getting so mad at a game that they start smacking the cabinet around. Unlike pinball, which will go into tilt mode to punish you, the only justice to be found here is my justice. I am the arcade law. You fucking piece of shit, game. I totally jumped over that fucking barrel. Fucking monkey fuck and his fucking barrels. Even if, well, I'm a little less than eager to bring the law down on this guy. I am in awe of the size of this lad. He probably eats 6 whole hams for breakfast and bench presses pickup trucks for fun. But I know my duty. I know what I must do. Also, it is raining outside. Sorry, I've been hearing like thunder through my headphones. That's when you know it's loud, if I can hear it through my headphones. Oh my god. I don't know, you guys probably couldn't hear that, but oh my god. It is storming like shit outside. If my power goes out, I'm gonna crash out, actually. I'm gonna be so pissed. But anyway, let's hope that doesn't happen. I need to ask you... Nah. That's enough. You out now. Right. You're done. Get out of my arcade. We're finished here. Excuse me? Did I hear that right? Oh good. Just what I needed right now. From the corner of my eye, I spot Mrs. Defame waiting. I'd better stand firm. You heard me. I'm the manager here, and I reserve right to refuse service to anyone. Why I didn't want to be that confrontational. I just wanted to make sure he left. Can I be honest? I'm gonna go back. I did not think it was gonna be that confrontational. Are you joking? Are you serious? That's so misleading to me. I just wanted to make sure he left. I asked the other guy to leave. I thought, okay, maybe I won't. Maybe, let's just see how it plays out, I guess. So bounce your ass on out the door before I have it bounced out by the cops. You little... But oddly, his attention is diverted to something or someone behind me. It's only for a couple of seconds, but his whole demeanor changes after that. Fine. He storms off, deciding he'd rather have the last word than argue it further. I turn to see who or what exactly changed his mind with a sharp glance, but the crowd's too thick. Whoever or whatever it was is gone now. Maybe I'll keep it. I really don't want to go back because I saved at the beginning of the chapter and that's a lot to go through. Whatever. And Mrs. Defame returns to the crowd without a comment, hopefully quietly approving of my law bringing. That was odd, but I guess a win is a win. Now then, what problem to address? Okay. The retro television-based video wall was an idea I came up with during renovations. Why was that sentence so hard? Naomi runs the whole thing off a cheap mini computer too. Practical and inexpensive, and it gives just the perfect amount of flair. And I've been pretty proud of it up until this moment. For some reason, it's showing a nature documentary about cute and fluffy bunnies instead of retro music videos and arcade high scores. Not that bunnies are a bad thing, necessarily. There's still so many worse things it could be playing. But it's still not playing what I want it to play. Something's amiss. As I'm hunting around for the remote control we keep at the prize desk, Teo approaches. Bunnies, huh? Yep, bunnies.
Interesting choice, Magnus. Not my choice, Teo. I'll have it fixed in a moment. Okay, cool. I was wondering if we'd suddenly experienced a paradigm shift in arcade theming or something. The bunnies are really cute, though. Grabbing the remote, I flick it back to channel 3, which should take it to the video feed from Naomi's system. And it flips back to the bunnies on channel 5 a few seconds later. Persistent, aren't they? Almost like the rabbits themselves. It's nice to see him in a more upbeat mood, considering what happened earlier. But as much as I'd like, I can't heed him too much attention. These bunnies are driving me mad. So I click back to channel 3, and nope, once again it reverts back to 5. Okay, clearly we're dealing with a master hacker, one who can modify Naomi's system despite having no physical access to it. An individual capable of truly hacking the planet. Yeah. Or it's a prankster with a universal TV remote. I've got one of those myself. Helps me to turn off overly loud TVs in bars, which drown out the beats of whatever game I'm playing. Not that I would ever do that, mind you, just in case. But with great power comes great responsibility. And clearly, whoever's forcing us to watch this lacks the latter. How about I go subtly check the crowd to see if anybody's got a clear line of sight, is pointing a gadget at the video wall each time you change it. I'm strapped for help, so I'm not going to deny Teo's offer. Sure, go for it. The war for remote control continues for another minute, back and forth from music videos to documentaries about rabbits. And now it's showing them mating, which I'm seriously hoping does not count as pornography, or it'll be yet another black mark against us with a certain arcade critic. I'm hoping that because she's like really watching everything, she's seeing that people are sabotaging us, and that she'll write a good review and be like, Deco's Palace fucking sucks, because they sabotaged this small arcade. A guy can dream! It's only been a few minutes, but it feels like an eternity of copulating lagomorphs before Teo returns. Found him. Orange jacket, standing near the pinball section. Thanks, Teo. No worries. Anything for arcade spirits. I won't just leave you high and dry, even if we aren't on solid ground right now. I roll up the sleeves on my hoodie, ready to put an end to this. Wait a minute, isn't that the arcade newbie from earlier? They didn't seem like a troublemaker at the time. What's going on here? Nope, it's definitely this kid. I can see the tiny plastic gadget in their hand, briefly, before they pocket it. Perhaps noticing my approach, the teenager rolls stealth and gets a natural 1, resulting in an awkward and obvious attempt at looking like an unimportant part of the crowd. Hey! Didn't do anything! I mean, hi, good to see you again. What's up? How are things? Given this living bundle of nervousness, I'm not sure I feel like coming down like a ton of bricks on the poor kid. But rules are rules, right? I'm afraid I'm gonna need to ask you to leave. This one may be a jumpy and twitchy sort, but the rules are the rules. I need to play fair. I'm afraid I need to ask you to leave the arcade. Whoa, what? Why? You know why. You're deliberately interfering with our video systems. Management reserves right to refuse service to anyone breaking the rules. You need to go. Crap, she's gonna be mad at me. Before I can ask what that meant, they're gone, hurrying through the crowd and out the door. Ooh, is it the... lady, actually? Or unless it's like the ringmaster is the teen girl from before, but it could be either. What's going on here? Shaking my head, I return to looking for other trouble spots. Before I can continue my quest to purge my arcade of evildoers, I'm interrupted by an onslaught of my hardworking staff. I knew it. I knew it. Magnus, about our missing inventory.
Oh.
When I get my hands on whoever did this, I found the electrical problem, Magnus. Sabotage! Sabotage and treason! An enemy agent walks among us. Okay, so we have some insight to what's causing all these messes, but it's a chaotic jumble right now. One at a time, please? Our suspiciously low snack inventory was, indeed, not human error. The delivery truck never arrived here. It was routed to a garbage dump due to computer error. Or, as I suspect... Malfeasance? Malfeasance? I'm not sure what that word is, actually. And malfeasance explains our electrical problems, too. Remember my joke about someone scuffing their feet and shocking the coin boxes? Nope, that's actually what happened.
An external shock, not a grid failure. Someone's got a battery or some other shock prod and was using it to crash games. It must be the same someone who flushed a bunch of wadded out paper towels and firecrackers down the toilets. It's a war zone in there. I was able to dredge up one super gross chunk of it, but we'll need a professional plumber to get the rest. This is all sounding way too suspicious to be random acts of hooliganism. It also ties into what I've been handling on the floor. Sorry, I have an emergency alert for flash flood warning. Hey, that checks out, actually. Hey, that makes sense. It's raining really hard. I'm surprised my power hasn't gone out. The power here is very iffy, I will say. Pretty much almost every time there's been a really horrible storm, my power's gone out. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, or at least it happens when I'm done with this. So, yeah. I've had to deal with pranksters all afternoon, too. Even had to kick a few of them out the door. I've been so busy playing firefighter, running from blaze to blaze with a leaky bucket, that I haven't been able to put the pieces together. But now it's clear, and I know what I must do. I think I've got an idea of who's behind all this. Okay, I think I've got an idea who's behind all this, or at least someone who knows what's going on. I'll go deal with them while you three finish cleaning up the mess. Are you sure? Maybe you should have some backup. I don't know how to fix power supplies, hire plumbers, or order new snacks. I need you to help me with those things. You can count on us, Magnus. Very well, but keep us informed, please. We're all in this together. And with a nod of solidarity, all of us split up, each on our own mission to thwart the ne'er-do-wells. Everything's gone wrong all over the place, ruining my perfect opening day plans, and someone has to pay for this. My friends are counting on me to lead, and to be the responsible one. I can't foist this off onto Gavin like I might have done at the Funplex. Finding my quarry isn't particularly difficult. She's been in the background the whole time, watching and waiting as I ran around trying to put a lid on the mayhem. Her eyes study me as I approach, grinning ear to ear. Yep.
Hiya. Hi. Hello there. Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I can't say I understand the why, but I at least know the who. The matching fashion style was a pretty big clue.
I guess a formal introduction's in order. Yeah, okay. The name's Sue. Natural-born leader, hacker extraordinaire, and leader of the Ghost Monsters, the hottest gang on these streets. Pleased to meet ya.
She playfully curtsies, her wicked smile never ceasing.
And yeah, I guess my friends were a little wild and crazy, leaning a bit heavy on the pranks. But I gotta say, that was pretty harsh, kicking them all out. Even poor little Clyde, who was just messing with your TVs. That's cold. That's super cold.
Dude, you started destruction of property and put firecrackers in the toilet. Hey, get fucked. Actually, get the fuck out. I will kick you out too. I don't give a fuck.
Let me make it up to you, okay?
Sue steps back and taps a button on her smartwatch. And from the crowd of gamers, her whole gang assembles. Even the ones I told to get lost. Gang, this is... what's your name again? Mr. October. Gang, this is Magnus. Magnus, this is Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. Now then. She turns to face her ghost monsters. You were all very, very naughty, and I'd say he's owed an apology. A big fat I'm sorry from each of you. Don't you agree? Each of them mumbles a semi-coherent, semi-sincere apology. Yeah, whatever, sorry. Real sorry. Gosh, I'm so sorry, Mr. October. I'm really sorry. When they finish, Sue faces me once again.
There. Everybody's sorry, which means everybody's forgiven. Correct? Because, and this is me being real with you, I like this arcade. I really do. It beats the crap out of Deco's Palace, that's for sure. I can easily see this being our new home, you know? I admire what you've done with the place. It's totally awesome, and I'm really looking forward to coming back. Again and again. I definitely don't want to end our first day here on a sour note. No. I'm so glad we can communicate like adults. Apologize for being naughty and move on. Now, okay, we may still ruffle a few feathers while we're here, but that's cool, right? I'm sure you understand that it's all fun and games. Nothing personal. So, what do you say,
No.
friend? All's forgiven?
I paused, taking in everything Sue rambled on about. Let me get this straight. You scare our customers, mess with our television sets, and short-circuit our games, clog our toilets, redirect our mail orders, come back here after I explicitly told you to get lost, mess with our ticket payout systems, and you want me to smile and let you come back tomorrow? My words barely faze her, that grin still lingering. Yep, yeah, that sounds about right. I love this arcade, and I think we could be great friends. What do you say, partner? Waiting for my response, she holds out a fist to bump. Sure, why not? I absolve you of all arcade sins. LOL, no, get out. If you truly love this arcade, you have to stop causing problems. Obviously this one is very rude. This one is still kind of rude. Yeah, if you really love this arcade, you gotta stop it. Look, I'm sure you're all good kids at heart, but if I let you hang around here and you just cause more problems, it's no good for any of us. If you sincerely love arcade spirits, you'll understand I can't let you ruffle feathers, as you put it. I need to make sure everyone's having a good time. Well, yeah, I get that. Right. So I might be willing to offer you another chance if you promise me you'll follow the rules from now on. That's the best I can do, okay?
No helping it.
Well, I'd like to work with you here, really, but promise is kind of a steep ask. Something's wrong. I'm a pretty empathetic sort of guy. I can tell when someone's being legit with me, and she's clearly genuine about wanting to come back, but seems conflicted. How hard is it to not hack machines and run wild? Why would that be a problem? Okay, see, normally I'd give you my word. Word is bond, but, well, no ifs, ands, or buts. I need your word if I'm going to rebuild trust with you. We don't need to have to get the police involved here. We can keep this between us, right? Sue raises an eyebrow at that.
Whoa, put the brakes on! Bad idea, friend. Really bad idea. You don't want to even think about getting the cops involved in this. No. Because, and this is me being honest with you because we're on such good terms, it won't do you any good. We'll be out and back on the streets within a day. We've got friends in high places. We don't sell drugs or weapons. We sell information. And information, as a currency, is far more valuable than what other gangs trade in. So if we're doing this, we don't involve the pigs. Any problems? You come to me direct. That's my rule. Break that rule. And, well, you don't want to see what I can do with the push of a single button.
So now you're threatening me.
I'm just telling you how it is. What you do now is entirely up to you.
But before she can continue her tirade, we're rather rudely interrupted. Oh shit. Oi, Sue, the hell you think you're doing here? The thick tension that surrounded us melts away, redirected to the new challenger. All eyes glare towards them. Oh, great. Okay, Magnus, hold that thought. I got business to attend to. Damn right you do. Ghost monsters don't operate south of 23rd Street. You damn well know this is lovely chainsaw territory. Get lost or get tossed. If I wasn't confused before, I sure as heck am now. All I can do is watch this unfurl before me. With a clap, Sue summons her buddies to her side. I'm sorry, south of what? I don't recall signing any non-compete agreement with you darlings.
Ghost monsters for life!
This locker room gossip queen is disrespecting your fearless leader. What do we say to that? Nobody disses Sue on my watch. Nobody. Yeah, and I ain't scared to hit a chick. I'm an equal opportunity, socially maladjusted individual. Think you've got your answer, ladies. Now then, let's rumble. Well, to their credit, they didn't throw the first punch. But we're talking hand didn't shoot first levels of moral high ground. Immediately, the ghost monsters and the lovely chainsaw are at each other's throats, grappling, punching, shoving each other. A baseball bat gets swung and clangs off the side of a racing game. Soda cans are thrown, someone uproots a chair near the snack machines that goes flying too. It's chaos, complete and utter chaos. And it needs to stop, now. Iris! Thank God. Already calling the cops, Magnus. As for me, it was supposed to be perfect. It was supposed to be. I did everything I could to make Arcade Spirits a success. I did what I was supposed to do, and fate still screwed me over. This is so loud. Jesus Christ. But I can stand here lamenting that fact, or I can do something about it. I chose the latter. Priority 1, get the customers the hell out of here. Gavin and Ashley are already on that. Okay, Dude. Jesus Christ. That's so loud. Enough. Gavin and Ashley are already on that. I join in, trying to funnel the panicked crowd of kids and gamers out the door and away from the carnage. This way, hurry. In an orderly fashion, please. Out, everybody out! With our focus on loading the place with arcade games and nothing more, it doesn't leave a lot of room to work with. Nor is it much of an octagon for the remarkably sloppy mixed martial arts brawl breaking out. We're gonna have a lot of game damage when this is all said and done. Damn it! I'm not letting that fucker get away with this. Until now, it's been the world's sloppiest barroom brawl. Teenagers flailing at each other wildly, generally wrecking the scene rather than each other. But now, she's pulled out a gun? What? Hey, quick question, what the fuck is happening? Why did we have to get gangs involved in this? What is happening right now? Not some arcade light gun, but a real life shooting and killing gun. This isn't happening. This cannot be happening. But this is 100% happening. The leader of the lovely chainsaw gang raises her weapon and takes aim at Sue, trying to end this. But her target is conveniently tucked behind Mrs. Defame and Ashley. If I don't do something, someone is going to get seriously hurt. My mind races. If everything is indeed in ruins, I have one chance to make this right. One chance to do something good in the midst of all this chaos. Time slows for me, like I'm trapped in a dream state. Pure instinct takes over, and I start running toward them. What the fuck kind of choice is this? What the fuck kind of choice is this? I hate this. What the, like, what? Ashley's like my lovely coworker. Mrs. Defame might fucking run the business to the ground. But also it's like Sue is the target. So wouldn't protecting Sue be the priority because Sue is the one they're actually trying to shoot at? Can I save here? Because I hate this. I'm gonna try Sue because again, she's the target. What the fuck is happening? That's gonna be the thumbnail for sure. Get down! Am I gonna get fucking shot? Whoa. Holy fuck, what did you... I was aiming for Sue. Pigs, pigs. Run for it. Stay cool and wipe the footage first. Do it. Stay with us, Magnus. Stay with us. Help is on the way. This is so fucking stupid. What the fuck is happening? We simply did not have to... What, like... We did not have to escalate to this, I fear. It did not have to get that absurd. What the fuck is going on? I just wanted to make a dream for everyone to enjoy. That's all. Was that so wrong? It's what you would have done. It's what you did do for all of us. But I guess no good deed goes unpunished, huh? The October family curse.
You've a strong spirit, dear. You'll get through this, I know you will. But for now, you'd best wake up. There's still more to be done.
This is insane. What is happening? Why did what? Slowly, very slowly, I open my eyes. The soft beeping of medical monitoring greets me, as well as an angel in white. Well, an angel in a white lab coat. While they're no heavenly being, they do appear to be my doctor, armed with nothing more than a clipboard. I'm still a little hazy as they briefly explain the situation. Thanks to my wild theatrics, I startled the shooter enough that her bullet missed its intended target. And instead, it went into my leg. Which hurts like shit, but apparently resulted in a surprisingly clean shot that I'll recover from in a few weeks, easily. 2 days in the hospital, a week or two on crutches, some limping, then I'll be back to 100%. And more importantly, nobody died. I can live with this momentary pain if someone else gets to live, period. So, could have been better, could have been worse. The doctor, having given me the report, leaves to treat their other patients. But before they do, they inform me I have a visitor. At least there's a plus side. I just wonder who it is. Teo walks in, holding a huge bouquet of all my favorite flowers. It's a beautiful arrangement, and the second biggest one I've ever received. He sheepishly smiles when we lock eyes. These are for you. You're too sweet. The sweetest. Teo places the flowers on the bedside table before sitting down next to me. He takes my hand in his and holds tightly. Before I can say anything, Teo interrupts me.
Thank you for dealing with me in my moment of selfishness earlier. I was too focused on myself to see anything else. I just wanted that job so bad. I know I've been trying to focus on myself rather than pushing everyone else into the spotlight. I was being selfless to the point of diminishing myself. But in this case, maybe being a little more selfless would have helped me understand how isolated you felt. Instead, I got defensive and callous to your needs. And for that, I apologize.
Teo goes straight to the point, and I take a moment to ponder his admission. I like the I'll accept your apology if you'll accept mine. Because I will, again, I don't think he's totally blameless, but I also didn't want him to, like, give up his dream job. That wasn't what I was trying to go for. So, yeah. Teo's apology is kind and thoughtful. However, it's not all on him. It takes two to tango. Of course I accept. But I'm at fault too. We both overreacted, and can both learn from each other to slow down and talk things out better. Agreed. Communication is key. Now, to kiss and make up. I'd like that. Teo leans over and gingerly places a kiss on my forehead. I really didn't mean for our conversation to end as sour as it did. And I feel even worse that it ended up with you injured before we could sort it all out. It's not like either of us expected this to end in gunfire, Teo. If I was psychic or had superhuman speed, then I could have stopped it easily. Or if I'd just been a little bit quicker to react. You're too hard on yourself, Teo. All that matters is that you're happy, I'm happy, and we're happy together. Our eyes lock as I smile lovingly at him. Teo's cheeks flush, grinning sheepishly. I'm extremely happy. His smile lingers a second longer before a thought pops into his mind. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I made a few phone calls and chatted with a couple friends in the industry. Go on. You remember Michelle from Max? Yep, of course. Turns out she's working on a new indie game. A rhythm game. Sounds like it's your jam, literally. It's called Dance Game. That's it, just Dance Game. How apropos. According to her, development is coming along at a good pace, and it's poised to take off in a big way. She also dropped some hints that with great popularity comes the need for a great community manager. So she offered me the position closer to launch. Which I, of course, took. Now I can stay here, help out with Arcade Spirits, and have a badass new job. Everything's coming up, Teo. Whoa. But they really named it Dance Game, honestly. What about Showtime Stage? Yeah, they really named it Dance Game. Like, as long as he's happy, I'm good. Like, if he really wants that, then who am I to be like, what about Showtime Stage? Like, who gives a fuck? I'm all for Teo being the community manager of a new game, and I'm actually really thrilled he's staying, but Dance Game? That's a working title, right? Nope, it's the actual name. Legit. It's catchy and it rolls off the tongue. It's going to be a huge hit. I can feel it in my soul. As soon as you're fully healed, I'd love to take you out on a celebratory date night. Yes, please. Now, if only I could heal faster. I should let you nap then. As my great aunt used to say, rest is the best medicine. So relax and enjoy some beauty sleep. Not that you need any. You're the cutest patient in this hospital. Even with this IV attached to me and these bandages on my leg, even then. Rest up and I'll be back soon. Dream of me. Teo blows me a kiss as he disappears from my hospital room. Seeing the person I care for the most was certainly a boon to my spirit. Now, if they could only do something about the food here. With my heart calmed, my body finally tells me it's exhausted. I snuggle into the covers as a yawn escapes me. Just as I'm about to roll over and drift off to sleep, another visitor drops in. It's likely well past visiting hours, but with no small amount of both dread and relief, I'm glad to see her. She's visiting me in the hospital? That's crazy. Mr. October, a word, if you will. I try to straighten myself up from my pillow backrest. Time to put on my professional front, even if I'm in excruciating pain. Okay, I should start by explaining that what happened today isn't exactly indicative of... I should hope it was. It's hard to disguise the disbelief on my face. What? It seems I've misjudged your character, based on an initial unpleasant interaction. But what I saw today, clearly you are no fool nor a coward. I let my need to protect my family override my better judgment. How absurd, to paint everything we've built at Arcade Spirits with that brush, all over such a small matter. I saw you selflessly throw yourself in front of that bullet. You didn't have to do that. You chose to do that. It's indicative of someone who isn't simply in this for the money, as so many in this industry are. While I'm uncertain why you protected that young criminal, I suppose someone who respects life deeply enough to even protect someone like her is to be respected. I suppose I've become a bit jaded from all those eager to cash in on the arcade scene. All the large-scale arcades I have to review tend to be very impersonal and cold. So, you were impressed with our arcade? Well, let's not go that far. I can't say I was thrilled with the amount of mayhem and disaster going on even before a gang war broke out. But I will also say I've only ever seen that amount of mayhem and disaster once before. It's highly unusual, to say the least. The last time I reviewed a small, up-and-coming arcade similar to yours, everything went wrong. Everything. I wrote my review in an honest fashion, and as a result of my scathing pen, the place was sold and closed down within a month. Sold to a notable figure in this industry. Wait, you don't mean... Yes, Deco Nami. Such is the fate of any arcade which dares to stand up to him. Your prior business, the Funplex, only escaped being devoured by being far too small to be worthwhile. Sadly, your enthusiasm may have put it in his crosshairs. If you cannot tidy up your reputation after today's affairs, Arcade Spirits will be next. Again and again, torn down by Deco Nami. This time, he didn't even have to lift a finger. By pure coincidence, the ghost monsters wrecked everything before he could exact any revenge. All he had to do was swoop in and buy out what's left of our dreams. However, I've come to a decision. Given I was a first-hand witness to your troubles, which were clearly not your fault, and given your willingness to put even your own life on the line for your arcade, I'm going to tell my editor I need more time, that I want to return in 1 week to get a more accurate and mature overview of your operation. 1 week. That's the best I can offer you. This is a difficult hole to climb out of, Mr. October. Even aside from earlier trouble, having a gang fight and a shooting transpire at an arcade. Well, the press will feed on this. Even if I was the only press present and accounted for, they'll dig and they'll speculate, and they'll chew on your bones. If your arcade survives that initial onslaught, I hope to write a proper review which can lay those concerns to rest. But I'll offer you no more second chances, no more reasonable doubts. Best foot forward when I return, or my readers will know the truth. Understood? Understood. Then I'll leave you to your recuperation. With a curt nod, she turns and leaves the room, leaving me with my thoughts. 1 week. I've got exactly 1 week to completely rebuild our reputation and clear the good name of Arcade Spirits. Otherwise, it's game over for all of us. All right, level 7. Yeah, I always choose like the nice options. Woohoo! And now, let's have one last pizza fact. 62% of Americans prefer meat toppings on their pizza, while 38% prefer vegetarian. Everybody loves different kinds of pizza, and that's a beautiful thing. Yes, I would like to save the final level. Damn. Okay, so everything ended up pretty okay. I'm not gonna go back and change that one decision. We're good. We're fine. I am, however, gonna go back, because like I said, I want to save... Oops, the last, level, chapter, what have you, for the last episode, because I feel like it's probably gonna be a little longer, and I don't think I have another, like, hour or more to read in me. And I'm trying to keep all of these parts, like, kind of close in length as much as I can. So the final level, final chapter will wait until next time. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of that twist where suddenly it's like gang fighting and I get shot. Like, that's so random and out of the blue and like escalated to a point that like doesn't make any sense. I'm like, we could have done something else. You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that. Maybe that's just me, but it felt really out of left field and a little strange. But maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm like, I still enjoy the game for sure, but I don't know. Overall, I think that was a weird direction to go in, and I think it could have not done that. But I digress. There's one more level left, and we'll see where everything ends up. I'm sure it'll be a happy ending. I'm sure. But yeah, we'll just see what happens in the next one. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, especially if you made it this far. If you did make it this far, it would mean a lot if you subscribed. I try to play a lot of different games, so if you like visual novels, I have more on my channel and plan to play more. Or if you want to see me play anything else, I have other stuff up too. If you have any recommendations, please let me know down in the comments. I love hearing suggestions and playing them, so I'm totally open to that. You can go ahead and also like the video if you liked it, share it with everybody and everybody if you so choose. My link tree is down in the description if you want to follow me on anything else, or if you would like to buy my book that I released. It's gay, romantasy, vampires, so maybe that's up your alley. But yeah, that is gonna be it. Thank you guys so much again, and I will see you all on the next one for the final level. Bye-bye.